Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. The Knicks crumbled once again down the stretch of the game. And let me tell you, man, it's hard. It's hard for every single Knicks fan, ladies and gentlemen. But let's get to it. On a Sunday afternoon, the Knicks played the Boston Celtics at home. And once again, the Knicks look like they could compete. As you see them go up 2-0 to begin the game. The Knicks up 5-2. With another good start from the Knicks. Taj Gibson, nice little nifty move in the lane with a jump hook to lay it in or to put it in. The Knicks go up 7-2. But, you know, the Celtics are the Celtics. You know what the Celtics are going to do is they score on a fast break. They make the score 7-4. Frank Ntilikina, who went out with a back issue, turns the ball over to Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker raises up the floor, finds Jason Tatum for the lay-in. Kemba Walker, again, finds whoever that is. And they kick it out to Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum knocks it down. Sorry, I don't have everybody's name perfectly. You know, it happens that way every once in a while. You know, Julius Randle, he had a decent night. Couldn't finish down the stretch. Couldn't close it for us down the stretch, but he had a decent night as he laid it in. Then the Celtics come back, and they make the score 12-12. Then 13-12, actually. R.J. Barrett, he lays it in off the little stunner step, hesitation. He lays it in to give it 16-14 Knicks in the lane. Kemba Walker, he puts it in to make it 16-16 Knicks. And it's a tight game right here from the beginning. Eventually, the Knicks are going to, do their thing for a second. As you see Enes Kanter do what he does best, grab multiple rebounds and put it in. Enes Kanter, on the night, he had 11 points and 11 rebounds. And boom, there you go. R.J. Barrett with the alley-oop dunk. As the Knicks keep fighting with the Boston Celtics. R.J. Barrett again lays it in to make it 22-21 Knicks. Then it's 24-24 on a fast break. Damian Dotson pulls up from three. He knocks it down. Damian Dotson is really trying to find some minutes for himself on his team, as you see Dennis Smith Jr. take it to the lane to make it 30-28 Knicks. But again, Damian Dotson, man, he's trying to make his mark. Jason Tatum, he knocks it down from three, guarded by Damian Dotson as the Celtics go up. The lead continues to switch back and forth. It's 33-30 right here. Bobby Portis, he gets his stuff thrown back. And then Wayne Ellington, he knocks down a little mid-range jump shot. Dennis Smith Jr., he knocks down a little mid-range jump shot. It's 36-34 at this point. Jason Tatum out on the perimeter. Finds his way into the lane. Nice, smooth move. That's a smooth character, man. You got to give it to him. The dude is smooth. Celtics up 40-37. Dennis Smith Jr. finds Bobby Portis out on the perimeter. Damian Dotson with the three. Bang. He knocks it down. 40-40. Game is tied. And then number 44 for the Celtics. He throws it down. As the Celtics go up 2. Pass from Wanamaker, whatever the guy's name was. R.J. Barrett, he gets in the lane. He lays it in to make the game 43-42. The game is tight. It's going back and forth. The Knicks are battling. R.J. Barrett misses, short ends the three, but you see Taj Gibson get the loose ball, and he dunks it home to give the Knicks a 44-43 lead. And then here you go. Jaylen Brown, step back three. Bang, he knocks it down. Now it's 46-44 Celtics. Then it's 47-47 Knicks. Then Kemba Walker finds Jaylen Brown again. Bang, he knocks it down. 49-47. All of a sudden, it's 53-49 Celtics. Julius Randle inside. He lays it in. The little floating layup jump shot type of thing to make it 53-52 because he hits the free throw. Then you got Jason Tatum. Bam, he knocks it home. The game is tight going back and forth. 55-52. Celtics lead at this point. And then Bobby Portis, he knocks down the three to make it 55-55. The game is tied with 1 minute. Or they called it a 2, 55-54. But during halftime, they'll give them the extra point to make it 55-55. Celtics knock down another three to make it 58-54. But then the Knicks go on a little bit of run in the third quarter to make it 64-58. And the Knicks are building a lead. And we've seen this story before, ladies and gentlemen. Jaylen Brown, he knocks it down to make it 64-61 as the Knicks have a 3-point lead. Julius Randle almost throws the ball away, but Dennis Smith Jr., he picks it up. He started the second half of the game because Dennis Smith Jr., Frank Ntilikina went out with a back problem. As you see, Kevin Knox knocks down the 3. 67-61, Knicks are up. Jason Tatum with the fadeaway. Make it 67-63. Celtics ain't going away. 68-63. The Knicks on the break. Dennis Smith Jr., he finally brings it home, lays it in. Dennis Smith Jr. on the night had one of his best games as a Knick this season. He had 17 points and 7 assists, although his defense down the end wasn't exactly what you were looking for. And that's Cantor. He gets the offensive rebound and brings it home. As you see, he had 11 points, 11 rebounds. Again, Kemba Walker, bang, he knocks it home. Kemba Walker on the night, a slight night for Kemba Walker. He had 16 points. 10 assists, but he really started playing some ball down the stretch of the game. The Knicks on the break, Mitchell Robinson from Damian Dotson. Mitchell Robinson fouled out once again, but he had 6 points, 5 rebounds on the night. And then you see Dennis Smith Jr. gets in the lane, lays it in. Dennis Smith Jr. on the night, again, 17 points, 7 assists. And we wonder what's going to happen with Frank Ntilikina having a back problem. We'll see where that is. The Knicks are up 83-79 with 1 minute left in the third quarter. Mitchell Robinson picks up a loose ball and dunks it home. It's 85-81 as Jason Tatum goes to the basket and gets it blocked. Dennis Smith Jr. on the fast break. He pulls it back, and he finds Damian Dotson, who goes home and lays it in. Damian Dotson had 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists on the night. And then Jason Tatum, he pulls it up. Bang, he knocks down the 3. The beginning of the fourth quarter. It's 87-86 as the game gets tight. Bobby Portis with the turnaround jump shot to make it 89-86. The Knicks actually pulled ahead by 9 at one point in this game, ladies and gentlemen, but they couldn't bring it home. Jason Tatum with the fadeaway. He makes it 93-89, and Jason Tatum on the night was 30 points. He had 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. Jaylen Brown, he knocks down a 3, and Jaylen Brown had a couple of wide open threes. Now, he also had a couple of takes against Dennis Smith Jr. Jaylen Brown on the night had 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. Too many guys. The Celtics had too many guys that could close the game. Too many guys that could close the game out. You see the Celtics knock down another 3. They continue to knock down threes on that side of the floor, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's 95-95, and this is when the Knicks really get in trouble. You see Jaylen Brown on the break, lays it home, make it 97-95. The Celtics are gearing up to go on a run, ladies and gentlemen. It's now 98-95. Jaylen Brown finds Kemba Walker for the 3. Bang, as Dennis Smith Jr. gets caught under the screen. 101-95. Kemba Walker to Jason Tatum. Knocks it down. 104-95. All of a sudden, it was a tied game just 2 minutes ago. It's a 9-point lead by the Celtics. Dennis Smith Jr. goes one-on-one. He knocks it home. He actually held the ball for about 15 minutes on that possession, 15 seconds on that possession, but he brings it home to make it 104-98. Jaylen Brown against Dennis Smith Jr. takes it in. He makes it 106-99. Again, Jaylen Brown against Dennis Smith Jr. He takes it in. 108-99. I just want to know, where's the help? Dennis Smith Jr. is not going to stop Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, once again, with the offensive rebound, he puts it in. 110-101. Celtics are up. And for the most part, ladies and gentlemen, you know the story. You know the story. The Knicks lose this one to the Boston Celtics. As time runs out, Kevin Knox pulls the 3, but clearly it wasn't enough. He didn't make it. 113-104, the Knicks lose to the Boston Celtics in a fashion that we've grown accustomed to seeing with these New York Knicks. And that is sad. Because we've grown accustomed to seeing this team build the lead and lose the lead. Build the lead and lose the lead. And it's frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating because as fans, at least me, I can only speak for myself. I'm sitting there and I'm wondering, when is it going to happen? When are they going to start to fumble and bumble and turn the ball over? And you start, they give you a little bit of hope. Oh, maybe it's not going to happen. But they can't sustain it, ladies and gentlemen. They just can't sustain it. And then there you go. They start fumbling and bumbling. You came down. Damian Dotson had a couple of turnovers. Then Julius Randle had a turnover. And, the Celtics go on a run. And then there you have it. The Knicks lose once again to the Boston Celtics for the third time this season. And you know what's so bad about it? At least with the Celtics? The Knicks held a lead in every single game against the Boston Celtics this season. Every single game, the Knicks held a lead. The first game we played them, we held a lead at halftime. We got blown out in the second half. The third game, we held a lead going all the way down the stretch of the game. But the Celtics turn up the defense and there's nothing we can do. Tonight, today, whatever you want to call it, the Knicks held a lead in the fourth quarter. The Knicks built a 9-point lead. And again, they couldn't pull it out. They couldn't do it. Doesn't seem to matter who's in the game, who's playing or who's not playing. The Knicks just cannot finish games. Let's take a look at the matchup scores and statistics for this game, ladies and gentlemen. On the night, you see the Knicks, they lost the first quarter only 31-30. They won the second quarter 28-27. They won the third quarter. Then they got blown out in the fourth quarter 32-19. And, we can say, it's because the Knicks just can't play bad. You can say whatever you want. Other teams know how to get it done. They understand how to step up. They have another gear. They can step into another gear defensively. We can't do it. We don't know how to step into another gear. And when other teams step to that next gear, we crumble. Right? We start to lose confidence in our game. And you could see when, there was a point in the game where R.J. Barrett missed 3 or 4 free throws in a row. I think he missed 3 free throws in a row. And then Julius Randle turned the ball over, went to the basket, got it stripped, turned the ball over. He sat back there and argued with the referees instead of hustling his butt down the court to try to make a play. No matter what you say, Julius Randle, you turned the ball over, they stripped you, maybe you did get hit, I don't know. The referee was not going to change the call. Your job was to hustle back down and try to get it back. You could talk to the referee on another play. Or on a timeout or something. Not another play, but during a timeout or something like that. But that span, I don't know, maybe it was a span of 3 or 4 minutes. 3 or 4 minutes there in that third quarter. I think it was the third quarter maybe. Missed free throws. And then we couldn't get it back. We missed free throws. Julius Randle turned the ball over. He didn't hustle back. And I think that was a pivotal point right there where, the Knicks still maintained the lead for a little while. I think the Celtics after that cut it to 3. The Knicks brought it back to 6. But that's where the doubt started to creep in with the Knicks. The doubt started to creep in. Once that doubt starts to creep in, for a team that's as fragile as the Knicks are, you're in trouble. The biggest lead for the Celtics was 11. The biggest lead for the Knicks was 9. All right, the lead changed 11 times. The longest run by any team was 12. The game was tied 11 times. The longest run was 12. And there were 15 lead changes. The Knicks didn't play horrible. They didn't play horrible. They could obviously play much better, but they didn't play horrible. They got beat on the boards 44-39. Any game you play, man, I harp on it. You gotta win that rebounding battle. Or at least be close enough. We lost the rebounding battle by 5. The Knicks only had 15 assists on the night. That's not going to get it. It's not going to happen. 15 assists, that's Not good. Half of those assists came from Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. had 7 assists on the night. The Knicks had 7 steals. The Celtics had 5. The Knicks had 6 blocks. The Celtics had 7. The Knicks only had 14 turnovers and the Celtics 13. Shooting. The Knicks shot 46.1% from the field. They were 35 for 76. They shot 30.8% from 3, 8 for 26. They shot 70.3% from the free throw line. They missed 11 free throws. They were 26 for 37. They missed 11 free throws. The Celtics, they shot 44.1% from the field, 36.6% from 3, and 72.7% from the free throw line. They made 16 of 22 free throws. But I'm going to tell you what, it seemed like in that fourth quarter, man, they had every single wide open 3, and they were knocking them down. They were knocking them down. That was the big problem. I mean, look, teams are going to shoot 3s, and they're going to make them. They don't have to be wide open. A lot of those 3s in the fourth quarter were wide open. Let's take a look at the box score. All right, for the Celtics, and you heard me talk about it a little bit earlier as I was looking at the highlights, Jaylen Brown, he had 28 points, 5 rebounds. Jason Tatum, he went to work. He had 30 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds and 7 assists. Daniel Theis, he didn't do much. Marcus Smart, he went out, with the injury, didn't come back. Kemba Walker, a light night for Kemba Walker. He had 16 points, but he did have 10 assists. He had 4 turnovers as well. Kemba Walker is fitting in very nicely in Boston. Very nice. He's fitting in very nice in Boston. And you're seeing Jason Tatum, who had a slump last season, go back to being the guy that everyone thought that he was going to be. And a lot of that is probably because of, there's a change at that guard position from Kyrie Irving to Kemba Walker. In my opinion, I think so. And that's Cantor. He had 11 points, 11 rebounds. Grant Williams, he had 4 points, 2 rebounds. Javonte Green, he had 3 points. Brad Wanamaker, he had 11 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. He's been getting a lot of minutes since is out. Has been out. All right, Robert Williams, he played 6 minutes, had 3 points. Ojale, he played 19 minutes and had 5 points, 3 rebounds. Let's take a look at the Knicks. Gordon Hayward, that's what I'm thinking about. Wanamaker's been playing a lot of minutes since Gordon Hayward has been out. And I'm not exactly sure when Gordon Hayward is going to be back, but let's take a look at the Knicks. Kevin Knox started tonight. He played 21 minutes, and I have some thoughts about Kevin Knox starting, and it doesn't have to do with Kevin Knox. I want Kevin Knox to play. So it doesn't really have to do with Kevin Knox. It has to do with Coach Fizdale. Kevin Knox, he had 11 points, 5 rebounds. Julius Randle played 33 minutes. He had 26 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He also had 4 turnovers. Taj Gibson played 19 minutes. He had 4 points, 3 rebounds. R.J. Barrett played 35 minutes. He had 16 points. He's 4 for 13 from the field. He also had 7 rebounds. Frank Ntilikina, he only played 6 minutes. He went out with a back injury. Hopefully we'll get some more information about Frank Ntilikina. We'll see how this impacts the guard play going forward and the number of minutes these guys are getting going forward. But he only had 3 points. He was 1 for 3 from the field, 1 assist, 2 turnovers. Mitchell Robinson played 19 minutes, 6 points, 5 rebounds. He also fouled out. Damian Dotson had 10 points. He played 31 minutes. Dennis Smith Jr. played 38 minutes. He had 17 points and 7 assists. He was 6 for 11 from the field, 2 for 3 from the three-point line, 2 turnovers. Bobby Portis played 20 minutes. He had 9 points and 6 rebounds. Wayne Ellington, he played 12 minutes. He had 2 points, 3 rebounds. Iggy played no minutes. Marcus Morris was hurt, and Alonzo Trier played 0 minutes. That's the breakdown of the game, ladies and gentlemen. And, I'll break it down again a little bit later for those who just join us. But for now, I want to get to guys that's in the YouTube, that's in the video chat, and get your take on the game, what you think about the game. And, honestly, a lot of what we say today is going to be the same thing we said a couple days ago. Because it's like the same game every single night. It's like Groundhog Day. Every single night, it's the same game by the Knicks, man. The same game. They build a lead, then they lose the lead. They build a lead, then they lose the lead. Build the lead, and they lose the lead, and they lose the game. Anyway, hear what these guys got to say, man. Savvy, I'm going to start with you.
What's up?
What's up with you, bro?
I'm tired, man. I'm tired of watching this stuff, bro.
Yeah.
I hope Frank gets well. Where do I begin? On paper, Dennis Smith Jr. had a great game. But if you look at certain crucial minutes, he had some issues. Same with Julius Randle.
Yep.
It was crazy.
like Nate was saying,
like Mark said just now, they play a hot potato.
Yeah, like Nate was saying earlier with Dennis Smith Jr., down the stretch of the game, Jaylen Brown scored on him twice. Kemba Walker scored on him because Dennis Smith Jr. went under the screen. You can clearly see that his defensive deficiencies come to light, especially down the stretch of a game. You know what I'm saying? Because down the stretch of the game, the last 5 minutes, this is when you really see, this is when you really get to see the IQ of the players. You get to see the IQ of the coaches. You get to see how coaching impacts the game. This is when you really see it. Right?
And you get to find out who's shook.
And you get to find out exactly. You get to find out who is shook. Because down the stretch of the game, man, that's when things mean something. And that's when coaches are they're gonna use their timeouts correctly or incorrectly. They're gonna figure out throughout the game, they've had time to figure out, okay, where are we getting good matchups? Who's the weak defenders on the floor? All those type of things. Down the stretch of the game, you see them go straight at Dennis Smith Jr. Now, I will say there is no way that Dennis Smith Jr. is going to guard Jaylen Brown and be able to stop him when Jaylen Brown is going to the basket. And there had to be, and that's an effect of switching, right? All this switching, and you're going to switch off until you find the weak defender or you find the mismatch that you want.
Yeah. Or until somebody forgets to rotate.
And
that happens a lot.
Right.
That happens a lot more than it should. And what did I tell you last time? I told you we need to put Jason Tatum on ice. What did we do? We let that boy run wild. He dropped 30 on us tonight.
He dropped 30.
Oh, Lord.
He went to work.
5 for 11 from the 3.
Yeah.
He shot a good clip. Like, he got blocks, he got steals. And you know what? I don't like how, like, Kemba Walker played just okay until the fourth quarter. And then we did a good job against Kemba. But there was this one play in particular I want to point out where he turned the ball over. We got the ball. He came right back and stole the ball from us like it was nothing. I don't like him having his way with us like that, bro. Like I'm tight. I'm really upset.
Well, the thing is this.
I'm sorry, go on.
The thing is this. A guy like Kemba Walker and the Celtics, they play from a standpoint of confidence. The Knicks do not play from a standpoint of confidence because they do not believe in themselves right now. They do not believe that they can win going down the stretch. They've lost too many games where they had a lead. And now, just like you heard Clyde say, they start thinking to themselves when they have a lead, okay, how are we going to lose this? Instead of how are we going to win this? You know what I'm saying? It's creeping in their mind. As soon as 1 turnover, 2 turnovers comes in, their mindset starts to waver. You miss free throws like R.J. Barrett did in that third quarter. And then you back it up with a turnover by Julius Randle. Right? Now it starts to creep in your mind. Here it goes again. It's happening again. We're not going to win this game.
Simeon, they got so scared out there, they forgot RJ was out there with them. He didn't see the ball. Like, I'm watching, like, I think it was right at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Dennis Smith Jr., he's got the ball. He has an open driving lane, doesn't take it, dishes off to Julius Randle. Julius Randle took that ball and did whatever he thought was the wisest thing to do in that moment. He lost his whole head in the fourth quarter Okay.
Well, he lost his
Another
confidence
play.
too. You know, I mean, I know he ended up with 25 points, but he lost his confidence too. You see, you know, he was hitting
That's
shots.
true.
He was, you know, he was making buckets. I mean, we
That's
don't
true.
have a finisher that can finish games though. You know what I
One
mean?
more possession that was very telling about what happened to us today in the fourth quarter. Dennis Smith Jr. has the ball again, right? This time there's no open driving lane. He attacks his defender. He attacks that defender, fails to beat them, and then gets pushed back out to the line. All the time, meanwhile, the other four guys is sitting here watching the kid play. I'm like, what are you guys looking for?
Well,
As soon as he gets kicked back out to the line, now they want to try to cut. Like you even see them start the cut and then stop because, oh wait, it's too late. We can't cut no more because we should have done that 3 seconds ago.
yeah.
We just like we left something in the timeout or in between quarters rather that we just didn't come back out with. You know, and I feel like we play a lot based on attitude. That was a theme coming in, was attitude, grit. You know what I mean? We run all out of attitude in the fourth quarter. We actually existed in the third quarter today. That was a pleasant surprise because usually we'll suck in the third, come back in the fourth, and play for the last, couple minutes, make it look like we're about to come back and steal the game back and then lose, right?
Right.
This time we kept battling through the third, got to the fourth, had a decent lead, and then just let our foot off the gas.
Yeah. And see, there has to come a time where David Fizdale, with this team, and I know you don't want to waste a timeout, but sometimes you got to. And it wouldn't be wasting a timeout.
And they're heckling you right now in the chat, bro.
But huh? What'd you say?
Oh, they're heckling you right now in the video chat as soon as you started talking about Fizdale.
Oh.
They don't want to hear that, man.
But look, but there has to be a time though when you call a timeout and you corral your troops and you say, listen, we've been here before, right? We've let a team come back. We're going to stand tall on this one. You know what I'm saying? We got to stand in and be ready to get a win. Right? You know, and there was a time in the game, I don't remember what the score was. I think maybe the Celtics were up 3. I think it was 96-93 or something like that. Or 98-95 actually. And I said to myself, now is the time to call a timeout. 98-95, call a timeout and talk to the team and say, listen, we've been here. We've got to, let's pull this together. Let's get it out of our mind that we're going to make mistakes or any mistakes or anything like that. And let's pull it together. Obviously that didn't happen. That's where you miss a leader on the floor too, though. A leader on the floor is able to, without wasting a timeout, is able to corral the troops, bring the troops in together and say, hey, let's get our heads together. Let's get our heads in this. The game ain't over. We're only down 3. We got a lot of time left in this game. We can pull it out. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody to do that.
We had, I mean, I know you don't like when people do this, Sim. They talk about Julius Randle's salary like it's a lot of money because it's not. And I agree with you, right? But our guy was out there shook. He was not thinking about that. He was not thinking about leading the team, rallying the troops, cooling heads. None of that. I don't know what he was thinking about.
Well, he doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't know how to do that. That's never been his role. He doesn't know how to do that.
Exactly. He
doesn't know how to do that.
And we actually took a timeout at one point, came back, and then turned the ball right over and gave him an easy bucket coming out of the timeout.
I mean, but yeah, Julius Randle's not going to do that. He doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't know how to do that. You know what I mean? We can ask for that, but that's not going to happen. So now you were asking about RJ Barrett in the fourth quarter. RJ Barrett, he took 4 shots in the fourth quarter. RJ Barrett took 4 shots in the fourth quarter. Julius Randle took 4 shots in the fourth quarter, but RJ Barrett was 0 for 4. And I remember him, trying to go get a couple of buckets in the fourth quarter, and he wasn't hitting. He missed a couple layups. He had a couple drives to the basket, missed a couple of layups. In the fourth quarter, let's see, in the fourth quarter, Kevin Knox took a shot. He was 0 for 1. Julius Randle was 2 for 4. Taj Gibson was 0 for 0. R.J. Barrett was 0 for 4. Frank Ntilikina obviously didn't play in the fourth quarter. Damian Dotson was 1 for 2 in the fourth quarter. Dennis Smith Jr. was 1 for 3. Bobby Portis was 1 for 3. All right, for the Celtics in the fourth quarter, Jaylen Brown, he was 5 for 5. Jason Tatum was 3 for 8. Kemba Walker was 2 for 4. And you see right there, that's their three main guys that's able to close the game out for you and bring it home. And all of those guys shot a decent enough percentage in the fourth quarter to bring it home. And what are you going to do, man? It's tough, man. It's tough.
Tell me something.
Yeah.
Tell me something, right? Okay. Mitchell Robinson, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like we would have been able to delay their runs had he been able to stay in the game?
Well,
and I'm not talking about in the fourth quarter. I'm talking about when he got in foul trouble.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson played 5 minutes and 10 seconds in the fourth quarter. He fouled out basically down the stretch. Basically, there was 12.5 seconds left when he fouled out.
Right. By the way, Sim, let Guillermo in when you have a chance, please.
I don't even know if I want to look at that man, but I'm gonna let him in. But let me get to a couple other guys in here, man. Let me get to some other guys. I'll come right back around to you, Savvy. All right, Nate, it's on you, man. What's up, man?
Well, man, there's an old cliche. Good teams find ways to win, and bad teams find ways to lose.
Yeah, well, we're definitely a master at finding ways to lose. We are the best team in the league at finding a way to lose the game.
Yeah. And I agree with you wholeheartedly, Sim, about the timeout. I was waiting for Fizdale, once we kind of got down by 5, I was waiting for Fizdale to call a timeout and just kind of regroup, to stop the run. But he didn't do that. And I was kind of surprised why, because, we're going down that same path. Why not just take a break? Let's get everybody clear their heads and all that.
Yeah. And it's not even about, for me, Nate, it's not even about, part of it is about stopping the run, but also part of it is about recognizing that the guys lack some confidence and they just need to talk real quick. You know what I'm saying? They need to talk to really, to really just get their heads on straight. You know what I'm saying? And to make sure that they're not ready to go down this stupor. You know what I mean?
And that's the problem with this team, and I think we've said this many times. There's no leadership. There's no leadership on the court. The one guy you could expect maybe to kind of maybe step in as a leader was not playing tonight. And Coach Fizdale should have took a bigger leadership role, knowing that Marcus Morris was not playing tonight and was nowhere to be found, which again just points to the thing is that the guy is just not fit for this team. Fit to coach his team.
I think most of tonight, I really do feel that most of tonight is on the decision of the players and some of the things that they've done on the floor, that they did on the floor, and their lack of defense in the fourth quarter. When Dennis Smith Jr. is caught on Jaylen Brown, you got to be able to help to try to stop Jaylen Brown from going to the basket, because Dennis Smith Jr. is not going to be able to guard Jaylen Brown. That's something that's taught in practice, and then you got to implement it on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And for all intents and purposes, I will say that when David Fizdale talks about trust, that's what he's talking about. Knowing that your guy's going to be able to help you out if you get beat. You know what I'm saying? And while the 1-3 by Kemba Walker, when Dennis Smith went under the screen, okay, Kemba Walker made the 3, but the 2 drives by Jaylen Brown, you gotta help. You gotta help on that. You gotta help on it. You gotta help on it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta help on it. The Knicks shot in the fourth quarter, man. They shot 29.4% in the fourth quarter, 14.3% from 3 in the fourth quarter. Every other quarter, the Knicks in the third quarter, they shot 50.8% from the field. In the second quarter. In the third quarter, the Knicks were 47% from the field. In the third quarter, let me see. In the second quarter, The Knicks were 47% from the field. And in the first quarter, the Knicks were 57% from the field. That fourth quarter, man, they shot 29% from the field. You're not going to win. You're not going to win.
Oh, absolutely.
You're not going to win.
Hey, Sim, was Dotson out there at the end of the game? I don't remember.
Let me see. Damian Dotson in the fourth quarter. Damian Dotson played. Yeah, Damian Dotson was out there. Damian Dotson played like 12 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you needed Damian Dotson out there to play defense. Let me get around to everybody else, man. Let me get around. I'll come back to you. Mark?
Yo.
What's going on, bro?
Yo.
Pretty predictable.
See, I was going to go on a
right?
tangent, but I'm not even going to do that because it be games like this where it really boils me like a volcano, bro. Because the last 6 minutes of that game, I always tell you, how smart you are at the end of games. And when you just start seeing the ball turnover and players becoming tentative, that's when the Celtics saw that and they just turned their defense up.
Yeah.
They just turned their defense up because the Knicks had got tentative in the last 6 minutes because I don't care what nobody told me. The ball was clicking today in every way possible. That last 6 minutes was horrible. The body language by some of the guys, I see some of the young guys just stop playing hard because certain players just stop playing. They just stop playing. So these young guys are watching those players stop playing, and they just stop. They just stop playing. That's what I saw. Okay? You can't have these guys on the floor just shutting down and expect these young guys to finish the game. No, you need. It's a collective
some of these
job.
young guys have their own habits. Some of these young guys have their own habits too. They have their own habits of shutting down and hanging their heads too. Before they ever played with, I know you talk about Julius Randle. Just say his name, right?
No, and Portis too.
But some of these young guys had their own habits before they even started playing with them. Dennis Smith Jr. had his own habits before he ever started playing with those guys.
Bro, listen, man. Him and Julius Randle, I don't know if you was watching what I was watching, but they started playing hot potato between each other. Going right back into ISO while the ball was swinging all day.
Who started playing ice? Who started playing hot potato with each other?
No, I'm talking about hot potato between each other. And we got predictable.
Who? I'm saying
who?
On
offense.
I'm saying which two players?
Oh, it was Julius Randle and Dennis Smith. You didn't see those bad possessions we had?
I mean, they had. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like the way that Dennis Smith Jr. played on offense in the fourth quarter.
That's what I'm talking about. Him and Randle
I don't like the way
playing hot potato between each other. Go back and watch it.
I watched it. I don't need to go back and watch it. And I'm looking at the information here. I mean, the highest shot total in the fourth quarter by any player by the Knicks was 4.
Yeah, but it's how long they was holding the ball.
Right? I get that.
Yeah.
But Dennis Smith Jr. was holding the ball longer than anyone. Did you see when he hit the 3? He held the ball for 15, 17 seconds.
Television. Move the ball.
He held the ball for 15, 16, 17 seconds and then shot the 3. I was like, what are you doing?
That's like every time he had the ball, every time he came out of possession, that was the problem. They held the ball long. You're not supposed to hold the ball when you're playing the Celtics. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
You're supposed to make them fly on defense because their recovery time, it is great, man. You don't see how they close out?
Nah, you're right about that.
You cannot hold the ball, and the Knicks wasn't holding the ball till the last 6 minutes of the game. It's not about. It's how you finish the game, man. And I want to come on here and just.
But it's this. Go. But see, this is where you've got to practice these habits, and you got to continuously practice these habits, no matter what. Because what happens
these free
is
throws
this.
Because
check it. Because listen, hold up. Because what happens is this. No matter what you do, it's about habits, right? Yeah. So when the game is easy, if you're playing against an easy team, it's easy to do things. The coach says, I want you to swing the ball, move the ball, and do this. You're playing against a team that's not that good, it's easy to do it because they're not good defensively. You might be playing like you're playing against the Celtics, and maybe they just kind of, I don't want to say that they were cruising, but they didn't step up that level of defense yet. Right?
No,
so it's easy to do it. So it's easy. Hold up. And so it's easy to do. And then when that pressure comes and they step up and play defense and they take that next step and that pressure comes, now you fall back on whatever your habits are. You know what I'm saying? And if you have bad habits, you're going to fall back on bad habits. If you have good habits, you're going to fall back on good habits.
You know when
that pressure comes.
The game changed on that pass that Dotson did. All of a sudden, when they turned the ball over right there, I said, we lost. Go look on my Twitter. I said, we lost. Because I just seen the defense after that. The Knicks started getting tentative with the ball. They started to hold the ball longer. And I didn't see the ball move the way it was moving prior to the 6 minutes. And then it became ISO heavy. Dennis Smith and Randle started playing like there was nobody else on the floor. I seen a lot of possession where RJ had to force. He had to force.
Well, RJ Barrett had a lot to do with that too. I'm not absolving RJ Barrett because he had some possessions where he held the ball a lot as well. RJ Barrett had some possessions. As a matter of fact, RJ Barrett in the fourth quarter took 4 shots. He was 0 for 4. Right? Julius Randle took 4 shots. Dennis Smith Jr. took 3 shots in the fourth quarter.
But Sim, no.
All right? He had his times where he held the ball too.
No, he didn't hold the ball as long as Randle and Dennis. When he got the ball, it was going to the basket. It was going to the basket.
There were several times where RJ Barrett stood at the top of the key dribbling to try to get his rhythm to go around his player, and he held the ball for about 8 seconds too. There were several times when he did that. And he got to the basket, but he missed the layups. But he held the ball to get there several times. You can go back and see it several times. He held the ball too, right? So he can't be absolved in like he wasn't holding the ball that way either. He cannot be absolved of it because he did it as well. That could be related back to.
I want to see where when he touched the ball, where the game went from there. But all I know, that last 2 minutes after 6, I think the Celtics scored like four straight threes, and that was prior to turnovers. And then after the game was over from that.
And of course that's just that's the Knicks defense. That's what the Knicks defense does.
I see Dennis Smith was supposed to go over screens. He goes under the screen.
Under the screens, and that's what Kemba Walker knocked down that 3. Yep, under the screen, Kemba Walker knocked down the 3. Got to go over the screens, especially you got a guy like Kemba Walker, can launch it off the, you give him the slightest bit of space, he can launch it. You got to go over the screen. You don't go under the screen.
I'm okay with Tatum making the shots he made because he made them in duress. But boy, that boy is smooth as hell, bro.
He's smooth, man. He's smooth as hell. Like and look, and you see the big difference between Kemba Walker and Kyrie Irving on that team.
Oh yeah,
huge difference.
He recognized the time of the game. And he recognized who's hot on the floor. Because we took Kemba out. Like, Kemba, he was okay, but we took him out. We didn't have him doing Kemba things. It was mostly Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But it was mostly Tatum because he was taking these timely buckets, man. Jesus Christ.
Jason Tatum is just a smooth dude, man. He's just good.
He closed the game for us, man. He closed the game for Boston. Yeah. And that was the difference.
Yeah, he did. He closed the game for him. He's just good, man. That kid is just.
And you know what, too, Sim? The lazy rebounding from Portis and Randle, man. Oh my God.
Well, Randle only had how many rebounds did Randle have tonight? He only had 5 rebounds, so I don't even want to say lazy rebounding. He only had 5 rebounds.
But no, he don't crash. Like when he see the ball, he don't crash the rebound like how I would see Cantor crash the rebound. You don't see Randle crash a rebound, bro. You see him get rebounds off if it's a long jump shot or he's like right there. He don't crash when the other players take the shot and then he's right there by the thing. He don't crash at all. He doesn't.
RJ Barrett led us in rebounding. He had 7 rebounds tonight. RJ Barrett.
Because he crashes. When you watch his activity, it's all about activity on the floor.
How much Savvy asked me this earlier. How much is Mitchell Robinson hurting us by not being able to stay on the floor?
Bro, you know what, too? Some of these calls that he get to, again, he's a second-year player. He's going to struggle, man. But some of those calls that they give on him, like, when I watch the Knicks game, they sometimes don't allow the Knicks to play hard sometimes. I see other times where teams can oppose their will. But when Knicks are in games, they allow us to oppose our will. But every time the game get close, we can never oppose our will. And then those little tippy-tap fouls that Mitchell get a lot of those tippy-tap fouls sometimes, bro, when I be watching. We don't get those type of call that other teams that can oppose their will on us gets, man. It's really not bad when the officiating sometimes.
But I think some of the things with Mitchell Robinson is...
No, it is true. He don't know how to stay on his feet, man.
Yeah, and because he doesn't have a big body, when he tries to use his body, it looks like a foul, you know?
His body, he's more of an active guy on the floor that could bust up your defense from time to time. But like in the paint, it's gonna take him a few years till he get that body to really bang with rebounders.
Yep.
But his activity, listen, I'd rather take his activity than someone that's not crashing. I don't care.
Nah, I feel you. I mean, he played 19 minutes.
You're good in my book.
19 minutes, he had 5 rebounds.
Yeah, because
of activity.
He got 5 rebounds, but his activity, he tips it to other players. He's just active, man. Listen, I take the effort more than,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. He only played 19 minutes and he had 5 rebounds because of his activity, because he's active. You know what I'm saying? He's all over the place. It's, I don't know, man. Isaiah? What's up, man?
What's up, Sim?
I'm good, man.
How's everything? How you doing? How's the family? How's everybody?
Everything's good. Everything's good.
Sim, I'm tired, man. I'm just so tired of this, man. Of just these players come here, they don't care. They just take our money. They don't care. They don't have the heart. They continue doing bad things, and they honestly, I'm just tired of them not giving a shit. I'm sorry, cuss, but I'm just tired of this.
You don't have to cuss.
Huh?
You don't have to cuss.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just tired of these players, man.
It is Kids Day. It was Kids Day at Madison Square Garden.
What happened?
It was Kids Day in Madison Square Garden. So there's a high chance that kids could be watching. Watch your mouth. I'm gonna kick you off.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But nah, it's just so frustrating because it's like you said, you go into the fourth quarter and you just know they're gonna screw. You just know they're gonna mess up. They're gonna turn the ball over. They're gonna give up the lead, and once they give up the lead, that's it. They're gonna do the fake. They're gonna do the fake mini comeback that they always try to do.
But they didn't do that. They didn't do a fake mini comeback. They just do the same thing, and it's like the coaching's terrible. Our quote unquote star player, this guy has one of the worst body languages. He's not a. I'm tired of the Knicks forcing these guys to be leaders. I seen it with Tim Hardaway. I seen it with. Okay, well, hold on. Let me stop you right there. I want to stop you right there for 1 second, because just because you're supposed to be the leading scorer doesn't mean that you're the leader. There's 2 different things. It's 2 different things. The actual leader, no coach can say, yes, this guy is the leader. They may use the word in a generic term, but the players determine who the leader is by who steps up and has that leadership, those leadership qualities. The players usually determine who they're going to follow.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the leader. The guy who's going to corral the troops when they're on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say that the Knicks brought him in to be the leader. The Knicks did not go out and find a leader to be on this team, the guy that really does bring everyone together and corral the troops. The closest is Marcus Morris. He's the closest. But I don't know if he's a full leader in that regard where he can really pull people together and say, okay, let's get our heads together and let's bring this together. This is what we've got to. I don't know if he's that kind of a guy. In some regards he is. I don't know if he is in the full aspect of it. So we don't have one. We're missing it. RJ Barrett can be that guy going later. Probably not now, but later. Give him a year or 2. He can be that guy. He has that mentality. He, in my opinion, this is the reason why I think he can be the franchise guy, because I believe he is that kind of a guy. He's not afraid to be vocal. He understands the basketball game. You know what I'm saying? He's not the kind of guy that's going to wilt under pressure. He's not afraid to be the guy. He's not afraid to be the scapegoat. He's not going to run from the basketball. He's not going to run from the pressure. I don't I don't see any of that in him. So I believe that he can be the guy that is the one that will rally the troops, that will have the coach's voice on the floor. But he's not there yet. He's still a rookie. He's got some time to go.
Hey, Sim, can I say this, though?
Yeah.
When it comes to Julius Randle, Sim, in the last few years of watching the Knicks basketball, man, he has to be one of the most frustrating free agents we signed in a very long time. This dude, man, it's like Sim. It's like, does he not know energy is contagious? Does he not know body language is contagious? Does he not know that like Sim, 5 rebounds? Sim, I remember you used to kill Porzingis for getting 6. Julius Randle should not.
Okay, well, let's stop. But okay, hold on. But let's stop for 1 second. No. I want to stop for 1 second, right? Let's not act like he doesn't average 9 or 10 rebounds a game. Don't act like he doesn't average 9 or 10 rebounds a game. Tonight, he had 5 rebounds. But don't act like he doesn't average 9 to 10 rebounds a game. Because that's what he does average.
Wait, Sim, I got to get you now, Sim. This is where I got to get you.
He doesn't average that?
Is Julius Randle a good rebounder?
So how does he average? Okay. Is Kristaps Porzingis a good rebounder?
No, he's not. Of course he's not.
Okay, so he gets 6 rebounds by default. Maybe he averages 8 now. I don't know. Right? I don't know if Julius Randle gets 9 by default. He can be a better rebounder. Right?
That's what I meant.
He averages 9 rebounds. He doesn't have consistent effort in being a rebounder because he probably should average 12 or 13. He averages 9. He doesn't give you the consistent effort.
That's why I agree with you at. Julius Randle should have no excuse to have 13 or 12 rebounds a game. And it's just about the effort with Julius Randle.
But even when you have 13 and 12 rebounds, I don't want to focus on just because he only had 5. I know I did point that out. But let's not act like that's the every night thing. Because we have seen him, it wavers. And he has to learn how to make it be consistent. I don't know if he can learn it. I don't know if it's just not in him or what. I don't know. But let's not act like he doesn't average 9 because you compared him to KP. Well, when KP was with us, he was averaging 6. He may be averaging 9 or 10 now. 8 or 9 now, KP. But when he was with us, he was averaging 6. You can't compare that because he's actually averaging like 9 rebounds a game. So, I'm going to come back to you, man. I'm going to come back to you. Before I do that, though, I do want to say a big shout out to my man, Do. Thank you for the super chat. He hit me with a $20 super chat. Thank you for the super chat. He said the season is a wash. Drafting Anthony Edwards and pairing him with RJ would be a move in the right direction. Well, we'll see what happens there. Obviously, the Knicks are spiraling down, and they're in the midst of the toughest schedule of their season. And like I said, it's the danger zone. We entered the danger zone, and we are in the middle of the danger zone, and it doesn't get easier tomorrow night. It's going to get tougher tomorrow night. Much tougher tomorrow night. Much tougher. Speaking of Julius Randle, we were just talking about Julius Randle. Speaking of players, let's listen to Julius Randle. All right. And, we're going to get back and talk about, we're going to have our time where we talk about the players we want to draft and all that kind of stuff. We're not there yet. I want to give these young guys the respect that they deserve. But let's listen to Julius Randle as Julius Randle reflects on the game and turnovers down the stretch of the game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to Julius Randle. See if we can get that going right now.
Julius, extremely competitive game for you guys tonight, but those turnovers late in this one really hurt this team. What can you pinpoint in terms of went wrong during that stretch?
They were just turned it up. They got more aggressive, and we didn't. And I think that little lapse was the difference in the game.
In a game like this, how much do you miss Morris late when you guys have been able to work off of each other so well?
I miss him a lot. He's another scoring threat out there. Obviously on defense, we know what he does. But he's just another piece of our puzzle. We're a team, and we're out there. We need everybody. And like you said, it's tough. Tough when we have them down the stretch, especially.
This team fought really hard in this one tonight, but really it came down to those stretch of late turnovers there. I mean, was it a difference in what the Celtics were doing defensively, or was it an execution that wasn't coming together on your end?
A little bit of both. They came out and played hard, and even in those moments, we're going to stay together, still got to stay together and, make the right plays.
So moving forward, when you find yourself in this situation again, what would you do differently with the execution?
We hope to just, move the ball and just run the plays and see what it gives us, because I think Coach is putting us in a good position. If we just run the plays and execute and be strong with the ball, we'll be good.
When this team is as deep as they are, how difficult is it to try to get the win when you're down two of your starters?
They're one of the best teams in the league. And, just like I said, every game's a tough game, and just got to play hard for 48, like I keep saying. 48 minutes is what will get us a win.
And it's more than just playing hard for 48 minutes. It's playing smart for 48 minutes. Right? It's sticking with what got you a lead and playing that way for 48 minutes. Right? That's what the Knicks got to learn to do. That's what the Knicks got to learn to do. And, it's becoming very difficult to watch, because you know what's going to happen, especially during this stretch. We play the Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow night, and, the competition just gets tougher. It's just getting tougher playing the Milwaukee Bucks, because after we play the Milwaukee Bucks, then we got the Denver Nuggets on tap. And they're just as good, if not better, than the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know. I do want to ask this. I want to ask you guys, what do you guys feel about Kevin Knox starting this game since Marcus Morris was out? Because what we heard from Coach Fizdale is that Kevin Knox needed to, basically, he needed to get it together defensively. And he was putting him on the bench because putting him on the bench, like I said on many occasions, is the best teacher. The best way to teach a player. It's the best way to hold a player accountable. Put him on the pine. Make him sit down. So he puts Kevin Knox on the bench one game. He doesn't play at all. And he says Kevin Knox has got to earn his way back into the rotation. He's got to earn his way back. He said he believes he can do it. Are you telling me that in one day, Kevin Knox earned his way back into the rotation? That's what I want to know. In one day, did Kevin Knox earn his way back? I don't get it. And it's not about Kevin Knox starting, right? Because I want Kevin Knox to be on the floor playing so that he can develop as a player. So it's not about Kevin Knox starting. For me, this question is more about the consistency of David Fizdale. Because if I was coaching the team, and obviously I'm not coaching the team, and probably for good reasons, I don't know. But if I was coaching this team, and I didn't play Kevin Knox the next game, I'm not going to start him. If I didn't play Kevin Knox one game, I'm not going to start him the next game because we have an injury. I'll find somebody else in the lineup, somebody else in the rotation, because that sends him an even better message. That lets him know, you know what? I still don't believe that you're going to play defense the way I want you to play defense, or do whatever it is that I'm asking you to do. So because I don't believe it, I'm actually going to put this player in the game ahead of you. Damian Dotson could have started instead of Marcus Morris. You could have chose to go with Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. at the 1 and the 2, and then put RJ at the 3. You could have did that. And Julius Randle and then Taj Gibson. There's a lot of different ways you could have went. But you chose to put Kevin Knox there. To me, if I'm a kid, if I'm Kevin Knox, I'm confused. Right? Because in one vein, you're saying to me, You got to earn your spot back into the rotation. Earn your spot back into the rotation. So you got to do what I'm asking you to do so you can earn your spot. Right? So I'm being told this. I'm Kevin Knox. I'm being told this. And then all of a sudden, I'm starting. And I know we didn't have a practice. Maybe we had a walkthrough or a shoot around. And from that shoot around, I earned my spot back in. I don't understand that. I earned myself to be a starter. I don't know. And I understand Marcus Morris was hurt. So you gotta do whatever, you gotta put somebody in there. I don't know. If you're trying to send a message to him, I don't think you turn around and have him on the bench one day and do not play and then start him the next day. I just don't think that's how you send a message. To me, that's more confusing than actually teaching. That's just my opinion. And I could be wrong. Obviously, I don't coach in the NBA. Right? Obviously, I don't coach in the NBA. But I just don't think, it just doesn't make sense to me. Makes no sense whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Makes no sense to me whatsoever. Mark, I want to get your take on that. Because Mark is I like Coach Fitz. I want Coach Fizdale to succeed. I'm not going to lie to you all. But I'm not afraid to point out, his faults. But Mark is a Coach Fizdale homer. You know what I'm saying? Right? So I'm going to see what Mark has to say about it. Mark, I'm coming to you, man. As soon as Gammo comes back, I'm going to talk to Gammo too. Mark, can you hear me?
Pathetic.
Mark.
It's not going to hit fan yet, though.
Who's Mark?
Oh, I'm coming, Sim.
All right.
Yo.
I want to ask you.
Go ahead, bro.
What is your take on Kevin Knox getting a DNP and then tonight he starts?
Okay, that's the same problem that I had with him on draft night. That's what he was having, and that's what Mike Breen was complaining about. It's the fire, and it's how he's just floating. And if you go watch those games prior to he sat down, he was floating. So it's one of those things where you got to do with young people. It's like you put them on a timeout, and they come back and say, okay, now I know I have to play when I'm on the floor. And that's what he was doing tonight. Yeah, he was active.
Listen, but look, it doesn't match what Coach Fizdale was saying, though.
What?
Coach Fizdale said this. He said that he took him out of the lineup. He's got to earn his way back into the lineup.
That's
so you're telling me,
hold
up, wait a minute, listen. So you're telling me, he said he's got to earn his way back. So you're telling me, with no practices, one day in between games and no practices, he earned his way back into the lineup?
He had to start because Morris was in here.
You couldn't use Damian Dotson?
No, they wanted to go big, bro.
Okay. All right.
And why would you put Dotson over Knox? I'm just saying.
Huh? Why?
I'm just saying,
Kevin Knox just got to do not play. Did not play coach's decision because of his effort. Because he wasn't playing well.
And what did he have tonight? So what are we complaining about now?
And then Coach Fizdale, I'm not mad about Kevin Knox starting. See, you got to listen to what I'm saying.
Okay,
right? And I said it earlier. I'm not mad about Kevin Knox starting. I'm mad about the inconsistency with Coach David Fizdale. It's just inconsistent. Doesn't make sense. When you say that somebody has to earn their way back in, if you're going to earn your way back in, it starts in practice. They had no practices.
Well, hold on, Sim. Another thing is like this. If the coaches, the team loves Knox, so it's like having that your pet. No matter what he do, but you're gonna give him another chance, and that's what it was. They made him start. He was a lot better today. It's just one of those things. I'm gonna take you out for these 2 games so you can see and watch the game. So when there's a time where I put you back in, he did what he did tonight. So he learned from tonight. It's just one of those things. He just pulled him out for those 2 games and made him, and then he came with the energy that I wish he could have on a consistent night. That's just all. It's that simple.
Honestly, I'm going to tell you honestly, I don't think it's that simple. I don't believe it. Because I think when Marcus Morris will come back, Kevin Knox is going to go back to barely playing again. Watch. That's what I believe. And I believe it's the inconsistency of Coach Fizdale. I believe he's probably going to go back to not playing again. I believe it's inconsistent. It's just inconsistent and inconsistent message. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got to earn your spot back, It starts in practice. Even if somebody else gets hurt, there's enough players there, enough players where you can put somebody else in that lineup. Kevin Knox played 21 minutes. Right? Damian Dotson played 31. So obviously, Damian Dotson was on the floor. In the fourth quarter, Damian Dotson was on the floor against their starting lineup. So you can say, oh, yeah, you wanted to start big. Well, he didn't play big down the stretch. Right? He didn't play big down the stretch. I don't know. You know, it is what it is. Coach Fizdale can do whatever he wants. I just think it's a mistake. I just don't like the way he does that. I hate when he does stuff like that. To me, it's just inconsistent. It's dumb. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to say this player's not playing, he gets a DNP, right? Because it wasn't, I mean, yeah, I guess he had a game when he played 4 or 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But if you get a DNP one game because of not hustling, not working hard, not doing, you're going to tell me you fixed that over one game? Over one practice? Not even a practice. You didn't even have a practice. I understand why you would, I understand in a tactical sense why you would start Kevin Knox. I get that. I understand why you would start him. In a tactical sense, I get it. And I'm not mad because Kevin Knox is playing. I want him to be playing. I'm not mad at it at all. I don't know. Anyway, caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hello, how you doing? Good evening.
Good evening, my man. How you feeling?
Feeling good. I just you beat me to the punch with David Fizdale. No one is calling him out, and I think he's the problem. Even the guy, Mark, that he was talking to, he admit that the team was clicking, they was passing the ball. But then you go in the fourth quarter, why you don't have the veterans in there? He keeps making these mistakes. Why every game Mitchell Robinson is fouling out and you have Taj Gibson? You know what I'm saying? You should be saving Mitchell Robinson for these times. Instead of him running loose when the game is free flow in the second and third quarter. That's where he's good. But then you leave him in the fourth when the game slows down and they're putting body on him. He's just, like you said, getting off his feet, going for every feat. That's not where he thrives at. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just feel like it's David Fizdale. This team is very talented. It's an NBA team. I even called before and I was pissed. The whole thing is David Fizdale. Like you even pointed out, how could you bench someone and then you're qualified to start? Like, who does that? I understand, even if you use the excuse that you're short-staffed, then it's other guys you could have used. You use him. That would have been a good lesson to show you, look, we're short and we're not using you because you're not playing defense.
Exactly. That would have been the perfect lesson. That's the perfect lesson right there.
Exactly. And we got a bunch of New York fans that call themselves hardcore. They don't even remember how the Knicks was about. If Julius Randle don't know how to play in traffic, look at Patrick Ewing going from side to side. Learn that little fade away, side to side. You want to put your shoulder down, put it down sideways, not straight into somebody's chest. You know what I'm saying? Look at those plays. They're not doing. It's the coaching. It's the coaching. We got talented players. Knox is talented. Look, he looked good in the first half when everything was flowing. We have to play the youngsters. That's another mistake he's making. We have to play the youngsters. We played the youngsters for the most part when we was rolling. The youngsters was playing. And then the vet will come in and control things. Implement a vet like Taj Gibson. When everything gets stagnant, Taj will make the right pass. You just can't put two power forwards dribbling and then, you got young guys, they don't know what to do. But that's my point. David Fizdale, man. That's what it is, man.
I hate, man. There's a lot of people upset with David Fizdale. I tend to think he's going to,
no, they're
be
not,
here for the remainder of the season.
We got great players. They are who they are. Frank Ntilikina is a good player. He ain't no superstar, but he's a solid player. We're getting him on the cheap, $4 million. That ain't nothing. All right, Julius Randle's getting $20 million, but he's a good player. He's giving you double-double. He's capable of giving you double-double if you put him in the right situation. Then we get a vet later on. Look at what Melo's doing. We should have had Melo. It's just the relationships. I don't even know, man.
I hear you, bro.
I'm telling you.
I get it, man. I hear you, man. Hey,
But,
thank you for the call,
love the
man.
show, but you keep calling it, and that's why I tune in. You're not like everybody. You're just an overzealous Knicks fan. You're gonna call it what it is. Maybe it's because you're a coach, but you call it. You're speaking factual. You ain't making up stuff just to be rambling and arguing. You're saying what you saw, and you gave Fizdale a pass, just like you gave Wayne Ellington a pass. Now you see he's trash. You said he's trash. You're not afraid to eat your words, and that's
trash.
what Knicks players. We got to get back to what the team was. It was real, and New Yorkers are getting soft. They don't understand what's going. They're blind. They're blind, and that's what it is. It is what it is. Man. You can't let somebody. All right, I'm gone.
I feel you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. We do get blinded as New Yorkers, man. You ain't no lie about that. We get blinded, and a lot of times we overvalue our players. We think our players gonna be an all-star someplace else or whatever it is. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me get to another phone call as soon as it comes in. 516-405-2246. You can call in. I want to hear your take on it and what you think. While I'm waiting for another phone call, let me get to Guillermo. See what Guillermo thinks. Guillermo's at the gym pumping up or something. Guillermo, what's going on, man?
Yo, it's good, Sim. It's nice you finally got to me.
I was trying to get to you, but you must have had to do. Are you at the gym?
Yeah, I'm at the gym.
Yeah, you must have had to do your set or something like that. I was about to come to you, and then you wasn't there, so you must have had to do your set. You know, I don't know how many reps you did. You must have did your, 20 reps of 400-pound squats or something. Who knows?
Nah, I'm fat, man. My killer days are done, man. I'm done. But nah, man, this Knicks thing, man, is man, a lot of turnover. First and foremost, Mark to my point about the Portis and Randle not going out rebounds because look, we are messed up all over, from the front office to the players that we have on the court, to the scheme we got, to the culture right now. I'm telling you, everything is in disarray, and it's going to take another year of rebuilding. When it's going to take rebuilding from Fizdale to incorporate more off ball. Every time you watch these games, Fizdale is trying to use the systems that worked for the late Heat, and I'm gonna keep saying this again. Whenever you see his team, it's dribble, drive, pass, or take your man ISO or post up. That works for guys who are closers at the end, where they're shooting 46-47% from field goal throughout the whole game. You're talking about Dwayne Wade, you're talking about LeBron James, you're talking about the Chris Boshes, you're talking about even guys like Mike Conley. You're talking about high-level players who can finish and execute throughout the game. I'm not talking about for a quarter where the defense is still trying to get everything set, because when you watch these defenses, they always seem to adapt and always seem to settle down. And the worst thing you do with a defense that's settling down is to play ISO. When you play ISO, it allows them, okay, now we're now defensive sets. Everybody knows who's got there, man. Blasey. Now let's see these guys beat us. And we don't have the superstars to hit those shots at a consistently high level. You have to incorporate more off ball to get easier looks, to get the defense working hard to the very end. And then at the very end, when you get the certain stars or players or RJ develops, when it's 3 minutes left in the game, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left in the game, whatever, then that's when you get to your executors, your closers, whatever. But we never get to those points, or we hardly do, because again, we're playing so much ISO that we give these defenses time to settle down. We don't have a proper pick and roll offense where, hey, you can run it and then say a guy like Mitchell Robinson is sending a high pick and roll, comes down and executes. We don't have that. It's one thing. Another thing in regards to what I said, what Mark stole from me, the Julius Randle and Portis, those guys are not coming to help out on defense. Now, we could say Julius Randle averages 8 rebounds a game. But 8 rebounds in what context? Because many times Julius Randle is getting the ball off of long shots where the offense or the other team, the opposing team, has already gone down. He's getting the ball. He's trying to dribble down and little point forward garbage. Again, in context, are these contested rebounds or not? Because what I saw tonight, we lost the game when Cantor was bullying us down low on offensive rebounds. Because their stars were, I think Mike Tatum was sitting at the time, but Cantor essentially allowed him to stay in the game with his toughness. Now, we always know he's a good offensive rebounder. But that should be in our heads. We know this guy's an offensive rebounder, so we have to be more active on the boards. And too many times I'm seeing Mitchell Robinson is the only guy down there by himself, and Julius Randle and Portis already slacking out, going for the fast break, going for the pass. And it's just not going to work. These guys have to change to benefit the team as a whole, man. I know Frank came out, and DJ, look, he hit some threes, but DJ, I don't know if there's something about him. Court vision is just not there. His facilitation is not there. He seems like he's a step slow, not just physically, but mentally in terms of getting guys to play. And also, physical system, it is stagnant as hell, man. And the last thing I'll say, man, like I said, I still feel something's going to blow up between RJ and Randle. Because it's more of a team thing. Because what I'm seeing today, it doesn't make sense. These other players that we let go, they're doing not all of them, but some of them are doing relatively well with other teams in the systems. And we said last year, all these guys, we gave all these excuses for why these guys couldn't win the Knicks. And there are other teams with better players, you can see the systems, but they seem to fit in those systems more seamlessly than the players that we brought into our system. And you see guys like Randle who are not trying hard, still playing hero ball at the end, he's not executing, he's drawing offensive fouls at the worst times. And guys like RJ, yes, he went 4 for 17, he didn't have a good game. RJ still sold out on deep. He's still not making dumb plays in terms of, trying to always go too much ISO, or he's not making the right pass. You've seen that from Randle. And you see the article today with Trey Burke, and what he's saying is like, something's not right with this front office. And it seems like Fizdale's being hamstrung. If Fizdale could go after a guy like Gasol, because Gasol didn't do what he wanted in terms of being more of a space big man, but he's not going after Randle. Doesn't that say to you that maybe Randle's getting preferential treatment, Perry or Mills or somebody?
Well,
it's not really
so two things I want to comment on. One thing you said, other teams, they sign some free agents and they have them come in and they perform, right?
Right.
There's a reason for that. I was thinking about this during the game. I was thinking about Wanamaker, right? A guy who's been playing overseas and, this is his first year in the NBA and he's performing for the Celtics. There's a reason, because when you know how you want to play, now you don't, when you know how you want to play and you know what the system is, you don't just go out and get a guy because they're talented. You go out and you get a guy because they fit in what you're trying to do. And so then they come in and they can perform for you. Now, Wanamaker may go to another team and he doesn't look good at all. Maybe he does. I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying he doesn't look good at all because he didn't fit in that system. Because the Celtics went and got him because he fit what they're trying to do, right? That's when you don't have a system, you can't find players like that. You're just grasping at straws, trying to find someone that's going to stick because you can't say, I'm missing this puzzle piece right here. Let me go find someone who fits this spot right here and put him in there, and then that person performs. That's one thing right there. Why?
I agree.
These other teams are able to do that because they know how they want to play, and we don't.
And we spoke about that in the beginning of the season. So we said that instead of the so-called tanking last year, it would behoove Fizdale to have a proper system. So that even if he brings, it would help him that when they're looking at free agents, they can get guys he fits our system, he doesn't. He may average as many points on this team, but for some reason he doesn't fit our system. Versus this guy who maybe his stats aren't as good, but he's underrated in a sense because of our system. We talked about this.
Right.
I agree with you 1,000%.
Yeah. And then the one thing you said about Julius Randle and Fizdale, I read an article, I don't know if it was Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving or whatever it was, on Julius Randle and, him and his wife moving to New York City, and that his wife and Coach Fizdale's wife had become very good friends. And while, when you work in a workplace, things like that are going to happen. But for supervisor and subordinate, you don't want you don't want to mix those lines, in my opinion. So now, if their wives are friends, that means them two will probably, Fizdale's 43, he's like 24, 25 years old. They're not going to have that much in common, but life-wise, if you read a little bit about Julius Randle, life-wise, he's a little bit more mature than other players as far as life, right? If you read some of the stuff about Julius Randle. And it doesn't have anything to do with the basketball court, but life-wise, he's a little bit more mature, which means him and Fizdale probably, he could probably relate to Fizdale a little bit more. You know how sometimes you got younger people who kind of have an old soul and they relate to older people. Julius Randle kind of strikes me as someone like that. I'm saying there was in that same story. I remember in that same story when he was with the Lakers, some of those players that I forgot who it was would want Julius Randle to go out to a strip club and this and that. He wouldn't, right? Because he had his girlfriend, or he was married actually, I think.
Right.
So he wouldn't do it. He'd just go home, be with his wife, and that kind of stuff. So he's probably on that level a little bit more mature. So him hanging out with Fizdale, might seem a little bit more natural.
I see it differently, Sam. I see it differently. I see it that they may be cordial off the court, but I feel like because the way he's playing him, the way some of these articles are coming out, I'm not. Things that are coming out, there's a weird validation handle, but yet Fizdale, quarters. Randle many times is out. It's usually Josh Gibson in there, and they look a lot more fluid. This is a guy who sitting guys like Frank down. He was sitting, he had the whole thing with Gasol, and yet when Randle comes in late in the game, and he's kind of throwing things out of sync. I'm not saying it's just by himself. It's not him by himself. I'm not blaming him. But whole ISO point forward thing, getting turnovers, the stupid fouls, not playing up on defense, down the stretch, and he's still in the game. Something seems up. It just seems
but see, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they might have a relationship, so it's hard for Fizdale to pull him out, or Fizdale wants him to attain certain goals.
Because I think it's a Perry thing, man. I think it's a
You think so? I mean, it could be.
I think it's that, look, there's so much turmoil with this front office. I think it's that because Dolan is a guy, he's a businessman. Dolan is a guy, he doesn't want bad headlines, right? But he's made dumb decisions, right? So he makes kind of drastic, kind of erase the bad headlines, and it ends up biting him in the butt, right? What I think is that, yes, they made the right move. They made a move with the KP thing. I can say it's right. They made a move with the KP thing. And in their heads, because Kyrie, KD couldn't come in, and I'm not saying because 2 years for the player option, team option. What they're trying to do is kind of validate it. I think that pairing those guys are somewhat trying to validate it, and they're getting pressure because they come out with that press conference, like the whole, "Oh, we're not going to take it." That means that you don't have security from the top. You're doing things like that, right? I think that now they're trying to validate, like trying to get by as much value from Julius Randle that this guy is worth what we've done. Because that's how Dylan's going to look at it. He's going to look at, all right, what moves have we made? How many wins do I have? Where's my bottom line said we're good, but where are my wins at? I think the thing with Randle is that looking at how, and it's like he tries to put Randle kind of as deep in the fourth quarter to kind of like, not have him affect the team when they're trying to like stay in it. Then it's like, all right, let me just put this guy in, and then hopefully. But it just doesn't seem right. And the way he weighs up RJ and the way he kind of, other guys kind of take to him, see sometimes with the turnover, see their heads when he makes a turnover. And sometimes some of the players like RJ, they kind of like the whole and look, I may be looking into it, but I think there's some smoke there in regards to how they look. I'm just saying that I think that a guy like RJ, who I think is a new foundation of hard nose, plays smart, plays heady team player, guys kind of galvanize around him versus Randle, who's a high-priced free agent, kind of on an island by himself because Perry has to kind of prove that he's of worth by playing him, but other guys looking at him like, this guy's not working out. Like, this guy's ruining the chemistry. He's not passing, making turns, not playing defense. I think it's going to come to a head, man. I think it's going to be RJ versus Barry. It's going to be.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe maybe they are. Maybe there is some kind of something with Scott Perry, and Steve Mills. Just want to prove their value with Julius Randle. I don't know. I mean, it could be that. I think it could also be David Fizdale has a little bit more of a relationship with Julius Randle, and he wants to see him do certain things out there, or is trying to help him be somebody that maybe and probably he's not. Who knows, man? It's I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm going to get to a phone call. The next question I have is about the point guards. What are we going to do now? Frank Ntilikina, who knows how long he might be out. You know, he went out with a back problem earlier today. Elfrid Payton is out. And now you got Dennis Smith Jr. Frank Ntilikina, a sore upper back. That's what it's called, a sore upper back. Hopefully it's not something that lasts a long time. Hopefully it's not. We'll see. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
What's going on, Sim, man? This Taryn, I be in the chat most of the time. What's the topic about?
Well, right now I'm talking about the point guard situation. We're back at the point guard situation for a little while. It felt like Frank Ntilikina, had that spot. Excuse me. And he wasn't ready to relinquish it. Now he's hurt, and we don't know how long he's going to be hurt. But now Frank Ntilikina is out, at least for a little while. He's got an upper back. He's got a sore upper back. Maybe he's probably not going to play tomorrow night. That's what I'm thinking. He's probably not going to play tomorrow night. If he's got a sore upper back, they're going to give him time to rest. So Frank Ntilikina is Dennis Smith Jr. is probably going to be the starting point guard tomorrow night. What happens with this point guard situation from here?
Well, that's going to give Dennis Smith Jr. a lot of more playing time. But
man, fuck DSJ.
I don't know. He did pretty good tonight. Until that fourth quarter or whatever, that ISO, when they started, like you said earlier, that as they were saying in the video chat, the hot potato between him and Randle. But the thing with me, Sam, man, is it's no system, man. All the players we have on this team is coachable, but if you're not playing under a system, you're going to go out there and do what you want. They're going to go out there and do what they're doing, man. And I feel I didn't watch the game, but, I got the app on my phone where it keeps, highlights, scores, update. And I watched I think it was like in the fourth quarter or the beginning of the late ending of the third quarter, it was 95-95. And I don't know what happened. I didn't even know Frank got hurt. Because I had posted in the chat before this show came on, I only seen him playing 7 minutes. And I was like, what was up with that? Did he pull him or whatever? But now that I know that he got hurt, I see why. But I just think they need, if he is emphasizing the system out there, I ain't seeing it. This is the third time we played, good, playoff teams, and we hung in there with them the whole time. But once that into that third quarter and that fourth quarter pops in, boy, it's like the team comes back, we lose the lead, and then they just go up by 5, 7, 10 points, and we, like 2 minutes left in the game, that's when we start back scoring again. So I can't help but look at the coaching on that part. Because when Dennis Smith Jr. and Randle was doing whatever they was doing, not passing the ball, holding the ball or whatever, a good coach would have called timeout and been like, yo, what's going on? What are y'all doing? And to my understanding, there was no call out, no timeout called and stuff. And they just took over and went, well, there's 100, 104, and we still stuck at 95.
Yeah, well, it's part of, when you have a team that has bad habits, there's going to be times when another team, they pick up their gameplay and you're going to revert back to your bad habits. And that's what this Knicks team does. That's what, we have so many bad habits. And one of our worst habits is one-on-one play. We buckle down and we end up playing one-on-one, especially when the game picks up, man. Hey, my man, I appreciate you. All right. I know there's a couple other calls. I want to get these guys in. All right.
All right. Just want to say one more thing, sir. Okay. I think I think this offseason we need to We need to keep Frank because he's doing a good job, but I think we need to go after another point guard because Dennis Smith Jr. and Peyton, as I said in the beginning, they hurt too much. So we need a good, reliable point guard, man.
All right, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.
You have a good one.
All right, peace. And Frank Ntilikina, he's hurt too, so he's one of those guys that, gets hurt. I don't even know what happened. I didn't see all of the first quarter, so I don't even know what happened to his back. For a second, I thought Dennis Smith Jr. was hurt too. I seen him go down and looked like he stayed down for a couple of minutes. I thought he was hurt too. But, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks once again lose in a game where they had a lead. And that's what the Knicks do. If you're just joining me, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you for joining me here today on a Sunday after you just watched the Knicks blow another lead down the stretch. The Knicks played the Boston Celtics tonight or today at 3:30 p.m. And most Knicks fans knew the story here, but were hoping for something different. Kevin Knox, he started tonight instead of Marcus Morris. As you see, Julius Randle knocked down the mid-range jump shot for the Knicks to go up 2-0. It's 5-2 now. Taj Gibson, he spins, hits the little jump hook in the lane to make it 7-2 Knicks. And the Knicks start off hot. We've seen this before. Julius Randle with a turnover. The Knicks come down. The Celtics come down, make it 7-4, not the Knicks. Frank Ntilikina, he went out with an upper sore back. He didn't play after the first quarter as the Celtics go on a break, make it 9-6. In the lane, Theis, he kicks it out to none other than Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum had a night, ladies and gentlemen. He was cooking us, especially in the fourth quarter. Julius Randle, he had a decent night. People are going to complain about Julius Randle,
Mark,
but he had
crazy,
a decent night. All right, Julius Randle had 26 points tonight. 26 points, but only 5 rebounds. That's a point of contention. That's definitely a point of contention. You see RJ Barrett. He hits the little runner in the lane. Lays it in. Kemba Walker, he comes down. He goes to the cup. He lays it in. He makes it 16-16. And this is a nip and tuck battle throughout the first quarter, throughout the first half for the most part. It was a nip and tuck battle. As you see, Enes Kanter get his own rebound and lay it back in. That's what Enes Kanter does. He gets offensive rebounds. He gets defensive rebounds too. That's his game. He's not a defender, but he gets rebounds. As you see, RJ Barrett get the alley-oop, send the Knicks up 20-19. Now it's 21-20. RJ Barrett, once again, in the post. I don't know what kind of move that was, but it was a crafty move as he lays that in to make it 22-21 Knicks. And then a couple other scores go on. It's 24-24 as Damian Dotson knocks down the triple to make it 27-24. Now it's 28-28. Dennis Smith Jr., he goes to the cup. Dennis Smith Jr. got extended playing time tonight because Frank Ntilikina was out for the rest of the game with an upper back soreness. He had 17 points and 7 assists. As you see, Jason Tatum knocked down the triple. Jason Tatum had 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists on the night. Bobby Portis, he gets his shot thrown. Then Wayne Ellington, he knocks down the deuce. I don't have too much to say about Wayne Ellington. You already know. Dennis Smith Jr., he knocks down the mid-range, and the game is 36-34, Celtics lead. The game is staying tight. 9 minutes into the left in the second quarter. Jason Tatum, he goes to the cup. Smooth. Jason Tatum is just a smooth dude, man. He lays it in. It's 40-37. Boston. The Knicks swing the ball, move the ball. You see Damian Dotson, bam. He knocks down the triple to make it 40-40. Game remains nip and tuck. Nice pass as number 44 gets the dunk. I'm not even sure who number 44 is. Maybe that's Ojale. I don't know. The pass by Winemaker. And the Celtics are up 43-40 as he knocks down the free throw. RJ Barrett gets in the lane. He lays it in. Scores 43-42. The Knicks keep fighting. They keep coming. For whatever reason, they seem to match up well with the Celtics. Taj Gibson, he gets the dunk off the loose balls, 44-43. They match up well with the Celtics, but they haven't been able to pull the games out. Jaylen Brown, he side steps, knocks down the triple, 46-44. The Knicks knock down a triple, 46-47. The Knicks are leading. Jaylen Brown, once again, he knocks it down to make it 48 or 49-47. Then it's 53-49. Julius Randle, he gets the little jump runner in the lane, and he gets fouled as the Knicks refuse to go away. It's now 53-52. The Celtics are up. But Jason Tatum, smooth as you want to be, knocks down a nice little smooth mid-range jump shot. Bobby Portis, he pulls the triple. He knocks it down. 55-55. It says 54 on the screen, but they gave him the extra point at halftime. Jason Tatum, he takes it upon himself to knock down the three, and the Celtics are up 58-54. Now it's the third quarter. The Knicks go on a run to start the third quarter to make it 64-58, and they take a 6-point lead, and it looks good for the Knicks. Kemba Walker, he comes down. He finds Jaylen Brown for three. Jaylen Brown knocks it down. Jaylen Brown had 28 points. He was 4 for 10 from the free throw line. He had 5 rebounds. And then you see Dennis Smith Jr. picks up the loose ball, swings over to Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox, like I said, started tonight after getting a DNP the previous game. Kevin Knox had 11 points tonight. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kevin Knox had 11 points in 21 minutes. 68-63, the Knicks are up. The Knicks get the steal. Dennis Smith Jr. gets the steal. They're on the break, and he goes to the cup. He lays it in. Dennis Smith Jr., like I said, had extended minutes. The Knicks are up 7. The Knicks had a lead as much as 9 in this game, and they couldn't sustain it. Williams goes to the basket. He misses, but Enes Kanter, he does what he does. He gets the rebound, offensive rebound, and puts it back in. Kanter had 11 points, 11 rebounds. Williams, again, with the ball, gets it up. And you find Kemba Walker, bang, he knocks down the triple to make it 73-71. The Knicks are up, and Kemba Walker on the night, he had 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 10 assists. But he really made his mark in that fourth quarter. Mitchell Robinson, he gets the alley-oop dunk. He knocks it down, 79-71 at that point. Knicks, now it's 80-77 as the Celtics closed. And Dennis Smith Jr. lays it in at the bucket. And by the way, Mitchell Robinson fouled out another game, ladies and gentlemen. With 12.5 seconds, he fouled out. We got to figure out a way to keep Mitch on the floor as Mitchell Robinson picks up the loose ball and dunks it home. It's now 85-81. Knicks are up as Damian Dotson gets the big block. Dennis Smith Jr. on the break. Secondary break to Damian Dotson. He goes in. He lays it in. It's now 86-81. Knicks. 87-83. Knicks are up by 4. Jason Tatum comes down. He knocks down the 3 to make it 87-86. 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And the game is tight. Bobby Portis, he knocks down the turnaround jump shot to make it 89-86. And then now it's 93-87. The Knicks are up by 6. Jason Tatum with the step back, mid-range, smooth jump shot. The Celtics just won't go away. The Knicks could not close. Free throw shooting was part of it, and turnovers, but they couldn't close. And wide open threes, as Jaylen Brown knocks down another 3 to make it 93-92. And the game is getting tighter. And here's around the point where you can see the Knicks starting to feel the pressure as Julius Randle knocks down a triple team jump shot, 95-92. The Knicks are feeling the pressure. Another wide open 3. The Celtics knock it down. It's 95-95. And now the Celtics go on a run. Turnover by Damian Dotson. Lay-in by Jaylen Brown. 97-95. And the Knicks bring it up. They turn the ball back over to the Celtics. The Celtics, 98-95. Kemba Walker knocks down a 3 to make it 101-95. The Knicks are stuck on 95. The Celtics, Kemba Walker swings the ball to Jason Tatum for the 3. Bang, 104-95. And all of a sudden, with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, it was a tie game at 95. Now it's a 9-point game lead by the Celtics. Dennis Smith Jr., he dribbled the clock out but knocked down the 3 to make it 104-98. I'm pretty sure that's not what Coach Fizdale drew up, if he drew up anything. But it worked for him. Jaylen Brown, he goes to the basket. Dennis Smith Jr. couldn't guard him. He scores. Once again, Jaylen Brown, Dennis Smith Jr. couldn't guard him. He scores twice in a row. And that's intentional, ladies and gentlemen. Intentional. That's good coaching. Jason Tatum to the basket. He misses. Jaylen Brown, once again, gets the offensive rebound and puts it back in. It's now 110-101. Julius Randle, he goes to the basket. Could have been an offensive foul. It was called a blocking foul. In the end, after the challenge, the referees waved it off and said no foul at all. Kevin Knox throws up a desperation three. Not even desperation. You knew the game was done as the Knicks lost 113-104 to the Boston Celtics. Ladies and gentlemen, again, they lost down the stretch. They could not hold the game down the stretch. Don't know what to say. The only thing I can do is ask the question, what do we do about this point guard issue now? Dennis Smith Jr. is the only healthy point guard on the team. What are we going to do? Now, I do see someone said in the chat, they said Elfrid Payton is going to get healthy real quick. It could be. And let me tell you something. I called this last week. I'm not trying to brag on myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to say I called this last week. I don't know if it's by design or if it just happens this way. But I knew that either Dennis Smith Jr. or Frank Ntilikina was going to get hurt. Then Elfrid Payton was going to come back. And then you'd see a new set of point guards. Right? We've seen this in the preseason. Elfrid Payton and Frank Ntilikina. Then Dennis Smith Jr. came back. Right? And then Frank Ntilikina sat down. And it was Elfrid Payton and Dennis Smith Jr. Of course, the season starts and it's Elfrid Payton, Dennis Smith Jr., Frank Ntilikina's not getting any burn. Then Dennis Smith Jr. went out, because of family issues. And then it was Frank Ntilikina and Elfrid Payton. Then Elfrid Payton goes down. Then Dennis Smith Jr. is back. And it's Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. Now Frank Ntilikina is out. And Dennis Smith Jr. is the lone guy standing at the moment. And we'll see if Elfrid Payton comes back. Is it by design or is it just, it just keeps happening because we got point guards that's going to get hurt. We got point guards that have issues. It might just be that. Who knows? But what are we going to do now with this point guard situation? What's the next evolution of point guards for the Knicks? You know what I'm saying? Nate, I'm going to come to you, man. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Nate.
I am. Well, let's hope that the Ntilikina situation is not very severe. Because if Dennis Smith is our starting point guard, you saw how the team went at him at the end of the game. That's going to be all game, and that's going to be really bad. I'm kind of curious, Sim, if, let's just say, if for some reason Peyton has a setback or something like that, why wouldn't they bring up Kadeem Allen, man? There were times where he played well for us last year, older than a lot of the other point guards. Need that calming spirit in the huddle. The floor. And I sure as hell trust him more than I trust Dennis Smith. Especially on the defensive side.
That's a good question. And I'm sorry, it could be that he gets brought up. That's a very good question about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question.
There for a reason.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Kadeem Allen is a steady point guard. He plays defense. We've seen he can score sometimes. I don't know. We'll see what's up. We'll see if they bring him up. I wouldn't mind seeing Kadeem Allen come up if we need him for a little bit.
I'm worried if it's Dennis Smith, their starting point guard, man. Because his defense is bad.
Well, he's going to be our starting point guard tomorrow. I can guarantee you that he's going to be our starting point guard tomorrow.
Better be up to the challenge of playing defense.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen. That's not going to be easy. Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be a starting point guard tomorrow because Frank Ntilikina is going to be out. Then you're probably going to see R.J. Barrett playing some of the backup point guard. That's what he did when Dennis Smith Jr. was out and it was just Frank Ntilikina. Then he had R.J. Barrett playing some backup point guard.
Hey, here's a real quick question for you. Do you think that the Knicks are going to get Trey Trier?
I don't know what they're going to do with Trier. I have no clue what's going on with that situation, man. I don't know.
Because they're not playing him, which makes me think in my mind that, whenever the trade deadline comes around and we're trying to trade for somebody, maybe they used him as an asset to go along with whatever you're trying to trade.
Yeah,
it seems that way. It seems like he's just fallen out of graces Knicks
Right.
or Fizdale.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea what they're gonna do. I mean, he's not even an afterthought right now, it seems. Even when the Knicks are getting blown out, it takes to the very last 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes to bring him into the game. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on there. It's weird because he was heralded last season, and they couldn't wait to sign him last season, right? They had him on a 2-way contract. They couldn't wait to sign him. Now all of a sudden he gets none, no burn, nothing, zilch. He doesn't even look his way.
Maybe we should bring his mom on the show and find out what's going on.
It's crazy, man. I mean, they look past it. When Coach Fizdale looks down the bench, I'm pretty sure Trier's looking eye to eye. And Coach Fizdale sees him and looks above his head to see who's the next person in line. That's how bad it is for Trier right now. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Let me give a couple of shout-outs, man. Marty Knicks, thank you for the super chat. He said, why do Knicks fans love low IQ, no fundamentals, one-and-done, non-shooting ISO players? We wish Phil Jackson was still here. We would have the Mavs roster. Oh, man. Listen, I think Knicks fans just get behind whoever the front office brings in. I think that's who Knicks fan, they get behind them. Dude, thank you for the super chat. He said, I think we should make a move to get Drew Holiday. You know, I don't know what moves the Knicks should make right now. Honestly, I'm just being honest with you. I don't know what move the Knicks should make right now because I just don't know where they're going. So, you know, in order to make a move, you got to know where you're going. You know what I'm saying? You got to know where you're going to make a move. And I don't know where they're going. So I'm not sure what they should do next because I just don't know where they're going. It's hard. It's just so hard to say. You know, you don't want to eat up cap space if you're not bringing in players that's really going to take you to a next step, to the next level. But you can't keep meddling at the bottom and messing around with. Obviously, you know, to me, it seems clear that signing guys on one and done deals has hurt us this season. So who knows? I'm not sure. I really got to sit and think and ponder on what the Knicks need to do next. It's a tough one, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely a tough one. But listen, man, I'm about to get up out of here, all right? But what I do want to know is, what do you think about tomorrow's matchup against the Milwaukee Bucks? I'm not going to take some time right now and go through everything. I just want to know what you think of the matchups. I am going to be on tomorrow. I'm taking my son to go buy a car. All right, so I'm going to get up in the morning. We're going to go get the car. Then after the car, I'm going to come home and I'm going to get on and I'm going to do a show about, obviously, the Knicks and the Bucks. I'm going to do a pregame. Right? So, you know, it's all good. But I just do want to get real quick what you think about the Knicks and Bucks tomorrow. Nate, what's your take, man? Knicks and Bucks tomorrow.
Well, if Morris ain't playing, I'm pretty sure Giannis might go for 50. He still might go for 50, but, I mean, definitely not having Morris in the lineup is definitely a lot easier for him to get what he wants.
Yeah. That's the truth. I don't know who's gonna guard Giannis. I don't know who's gonna guard him without Morris. If Morris ain't playing, I don't know who's gonna guard him. You know, that's gonna be a difficult one. Your prediction. What do you predict for tomorrow? Nate, what do you predict for tomorrow?
Oh, where are they playing? Are they playing Milwaukee?
Let me see. I think they play home tomorrow.
Man, it could get ugly. I probably think we're gonna lose by about 20.
Say that again. We're gonna lose by what?
We're probably gonna lose by about 20. I just don't think we have the defense in order.
Oh no, we playing Milwaukee. We playing Milwaukee tomorrow. That's
Milwaukee?
Right.
Oh, we're gonna lose by 30. Yeah, I mean, our defense is just really bad, and now with no Ntilikina and Dennis Smith at the front lines, good luck.
I hear you. Guillermo,
Hold
what
on,
do you
Mark.
think, man?
What's good, Sim?
Tomorrow versus, you see Guillermo made it home from the gym. know what I'm saying? I got the text. He texted me, said, you know, he did like 450 pounds on the squats tonight.
I didn't tell Sim none of this. Sim is just saying all this stuff. So if we play each other and he somehow wins, he could talk, he could hype himself up. But if I ever play you on ball, I ain't pulling no Isaiah. So don't try to hype me up on some 400 pounds squats.
He told me he maxed out his squats at 450.
I maxed out nothing. I ain't
his strained
nothing,
calf
man.
is feeling better. You know what I'm saying? Now, what do you think, man, tomorrow night?
I laugh when you guys are asking if we're going to play at home or not, because it don't really matter. If we play home or away, Giannis, who last year at one point was number 3 in number 3 in offensive efficiency without a jump shot, number 1 in defensive efficiency at one point in the season, fairly late in the season, if I remember. We're playing that monster. Now, thank God Brogdon's not on that team. You also don't have Thon Maker, who, I mean, it's whatever. I think was he there last year? But I can't remember. I've been watching the Bucks like that, but with the way this team is going and the fact that, again, our offensive schemes are so elementary, and we have DSJ playing point guard, I don't foresee it as being a good match for us. I mean, Bud Holzer is a coach. The guy knows how to space his players well. That was one of the main things that he taught his guys when he came in there, how to space the floor. And Giannis is just a superstar. You know, do I see us playing these guys smart? I mean, tonight we played, for parts I saw, I'm pretty sure we were playing a 2-3 against a team that had perimeter shooters in Kemba and Tatum. So I don't foresee us doing anything smart scheme-wise against this team. Just pray for the best. You know, I think it's going to be a game where Randle tries to assert himself against Giannis because he's an idiot. He doesn't understand team basketball. He doesn't understand that you don't try to go toe for toe with a guy like that. You try to, you know, exacerbate his weaknesses. You know, you try to force Giannis to shoot. But again, Randle's a guy who doesn't have it up here. So I don't really see this ending too well for the Knicks. Now, again, if the Knicks win this, it'll be my luck, my karma that they win on a game like this. But I just don't foresee this team winning, especially when, look, I know people hate on Frank, but again, his defense, you know, you have Frank's defense, you have a better chance of winning. But again, Todd Skipsgold could play 20 minutes a night. I don't see a win for this.
I actually think that Randle is really trying on the offensive side to expand his game and not force as much. But I don't know if I really think he is. I think he's trying to learn how to do it. I mean,
the only thing that Randle has done better. Sorry to cut you off. The only thing Randle has done better is that especially early on, he's quicker in terms of decisions. Right? He just plays it linear. Right? If he has a lane to the basket, just drive. Don't try to do too much. One spin move here and there. That's it. As the game progresses, he goes back to his bad habits.
Yeah,
but again, with Randle, his
issue
is not necessarily offense, Sim. It is the defense.
I know, but I'm saying, but you said he's going to try to go at Giannis.
Yeah,
right?
I can see
but that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to. I think he's really trying to change his game that way. And it takes, and you're right, when the game gets tight, he goes into trying to take over. It takes time, though, to break any of those kind of bad habits. You got to get that at least. It takes some time to try to break, to break those bad habits. Can I ask you a question
on your point, Sim, real quick? On your point? Yep. You just said that you think that he's expanding his game, right?
I said he's trying. No. See, don't.
No, he's trying. No, I said he's trying.
I said trying. He's working towards it. Trying.
I'm just saying, for a guy who still doesn't pick off ball, doesn't pick on ball properly, he doesn't pick properly at all, doesn't offensive rebound really well at all. I think he is averaging. Well, he's averaging last year like 4 offensive rebounds a game, something like that. But the guys are not offensive rebounding well at all, not picking. And when he gets on the wings, he's not waiting for things to set up, even though in his office not much sets up. What have you seen from this guy outside of cricket decisions like I just mentioned? What are you seeing from these past few games that gives you confidence that he's trying to expand his game?
Well, just like you said, he's making quick decisions with the ball, right? Going to the basket. He's trying to pass the ball out before he gets the double team. I mean, he shot 50% from the field tonight. Right? He did, he's still having turnovers, but they're different types of turnovers than he was having before. He's not having the same turnovers where he's barreling into 5 people. Right? He's having a few different types of turnovers.
I'm not going to come at you, Sim. You're the coach, but
he's trying. See, this is where I get upset. But see,
this guy was when the double team was coming, he spun into the
but listen, but
side.
hold up, but wait a minute. Everybody, see, this is where I get upset with people. I'm not defending him, but people expect change to happen all in one damn game or over a span of 3-4 games. It's not gonna happen. If you have habits, it's not going to all happen at one time. It takes time. Like, you do it a couple times, you go back and you make mistakes. You do it a couple times, you go back and you make mistakes. The thing is trying to make it happen longer, and where you do it the right way, longer and longer and longer, and it extends over a period of time that you're doing it the right way. It's not all going to happen all at once. That's why I just don't get it. What I would want is he can control his effort, right? Like, some of those mistakes on the offensive end, you can forgive it if he can control his effort on the defensive side he can control his effort. If he can give consistent effort on the defensive side of the floor, you can forgive it. But if you're speaking solely on the offense, you can't expect it to all happen at one time. If you see it happening here and there, then you hope that it starts to extend longer and longer and longer, right? You know, I mean, we got to give it there. I mean, I know it seems like it's already been a long season, but you truly were like 20 games into the season. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the first 5 or 6 of them is when he was doing, he was trying to be the star, trying to be what people were saying he's supposed to be. And then he started saying, okay, I got to try to figure this out, try to figure that. It's just not all going to happen at one time. And I feel like we expect it all to happen at once.
No, but Sam, there's certain things that Randle, I agree with you. Certain things that Randle has to stop doing in terms of trying to do too much as a hero. But I've never in my life seen a guy, when he's on the baseline and the double team is coming, he turns toward the baseline and then tries to make a pass from like where the out of bounds play is. I'm not getting Randle like that. He just ain't the one. Someone needs to tell Randle, be like, yo, bruh, you ain't the one. Because I've never seen such an asinine play in my life, not even from little kids, where they try to spin into the baseline out of bounds, and then they get even more.
So let me ask you this.
Did he pass to the guy that he's leaving from? I understand. Look, there's certain plays where I think, look, this is the thing I have with Randle, right? I agree in theory what you're saying, 1,000%. There's certain things like with Mitchell Robinson. That's why I'm like, all right, I still have faith in Mitchell Robinson, because we saw last year when DJ was here, he started to cut down on fouls. He's making better plays. He doesn't have DJ here. He's going back to bad habits, but I think with time he's going to get better. He's only 20 years old, right? When I watch Julius Randle play, it's not necessarily that I don't think he's changing with certain things because it's like, oh, I'm trying to be here long-term as a leader or whatever. I think it's like, all right, I've been embarrassed enough where, look, I now in my heart of hearts, I know that what I'm doing was not the right thing by trying to overdo blah, blah, blah. But I honestly, God, think that his attitude is more like, I don't really care. I don't have to like try to do this for these young kids. I'm not gonna, whatever. I'm gonna go out for me. This team is in disarray. I'm gonna play to my game. That's how I feel, because I'm watching certain plays. And there's certain plays where it's like, all right, some guys go into a Kobe mode, right? But there's certain plays I watch from Randle, and I'm like, there's no way in the world you would make that play unless you're selfish to the bone. And I think that is in Julius Randle. Look, Julius Randle went to the Lakers, went to the Pelicans. He's never really been a system where it's like he's had accountability and discipline. And I'm not saying it doesn't take time, but I think certain guys are just stuck in their ways. And do I like Julius Randle as a talent? Yes. As a player, no.
I feel like this. I feel like there's a lot of stuff just awry here, because last season it was a totally different person. What's changed from last season to this season? Well, I don't want to say person. I don't want to say person.
Last season,
not person, player. Totally different player. What's changed from last season to this season?
Last season, he also, when AD went down, he was called more upon to be the scorer in that team, because they really had nothing else besides him and Drew Holiday. And remember, Drew Holiday had little spurts where he was hurt here and there. Elfrid Payton had spurts where he was hurt here and there. So they really had no option besides Julius Randle. So I'm not saying Julius Randle's not talented. He looked good, but with higher usage. I don't know what the usage was before and after AD went down. But after AD went down, or he had his little injuries or whatever, Julius Randle was that he was looked upon as a more important player. But offense, he comes in system now, like we complained about him, where we talked about it, without a system, without a go-to method of scoring, a plan one, plan B, or plan A, plan B. He's seeing it like, all right, these guys want me to share and blah, blah, but who on this team is a legit scorer? Who on this team is a legit number one on any other team? And that's how he sees it versus, all right, Fizzo is trying to do something. Let me feed into the system. Let me buy into the system. Whether my stats dip or not, let me feed into the system and make guys even better. Yeah, Frank might miss shots. RJ might miss shots because they're young, but with more shots, maybe they get more comfortable. And then when they get more comfortable, the defense gets on them more. And when the defense gets on them more, I can score much more easy because I don't have double teams. I can move in motion. I get the ball in motion. That's how I see it. But this guy, he's looking at it like I'm on an island. I was with the Pelicans. You know, that was a so-called maybe a more real organization, more stable organization. I had my 22-8 last year. I'm the man. I could do it. I don't know what these guys are talking about. I ain't gonna sit here and try to help develop these youngins. And whatever. There might be some beef with RJ. Like I think there is. You know, whatever. I'm gonna do my own thing. Perry brought me here. I'm gonna Perry's dime. That's how I see how Randle's playing. I'm not saying he can't change.
I don't know. I just disagree. I just kind of disagree. I feel like he's not getting the same shots in the same areas. Last season with the Pelicans, he shot 15 times a game. This year with the Knicks, he's averaging 14 shots a game. I just don't feel like he doesn't know what he's doing right now. I don't feel like he's trying to be a selfish person. I don't feel like he knows what he's doing right now. Last year with the Pelicans, he averaged 3.1 assists per game. This year with the Knicks so far, he's averaging 3.6 assists per game. I feel like he's trying to fit into something that he's not sure what he's fitting into. I mean, to me, you know, what you're saying about him being more of a selfish player, I mean, he's playing more minutes this season and taking less shots. He's playing like two more minutes this season, but he's taking one less shot.
Yeah, but Basim, to my point, he took more shots last year because he had to, right? So this year he's only taking one less shot a game, but he probably doesn't have to take even as many as those shots because he has
14 is not even a lot of shots.
It's not,
and he's doing it, and he's playing more minutes and taking less shots.
When we talk about Randle missing, right? When we talk about Randle's mistakes, right? A lot of his mistakes are unnecessary mistakes. There are mistakes where it's like, all right, he maybe tried to lay it up. He was there, but he missed it. I'm gonna say mistake, but maybe a missed shot. You'll say, like with RJ. Sometimes RJ lays it up or tries to lay it up. Frank tries to lay it up, and they miss. And it's like, all right, that was a good shot, but you just missed the ball. Versus, what the hell are you doing? Type of shots or his turnover. Why the hell are you trying to over dribble into traffic type of moves versus, all right, he tried to take his man just stole. That was a good play, but his defense made an even better play. That's what I'm talking about. It's just worse decisions. I mean, I understand. He's not taking 30 shots a game, but his decisions aren't good.
I get that, but also decision making, you know, I don't know. I feel like the only reason why so many people come down so hard, besides his defense, we know he's got to work. He's definitely got to work on his defense, right? But the only reason people come down so hard is because of what he was sold as to the Knicks fans, right? Because, like I said, he's playing more minutes, taking less shots. I don't see that as being selfish. More minutes and less shots. I don't see that as being selfish. More minutes, not that many more assists, but more assists. More rebounds than last season per his average. That's only so far this year, right? His shot percentage is much less. And I feel like his shot percentage is much less because he's not knowing exactly where to get his shots from. He's getting double and triple teamed more than he's ever seen before in his life. And he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't have a great basketball IQ. And if you don't have a great basketball IQ, then you got to have either a point guard that can direct you, which we don't have. Right? You got a point guard that can direct you, or a coach that is directing you on where to get or helping you to get your shots in a good area. Instead, they just want to call 4 down, a couple of screens, get them the ball in the post, and then move out the way and let them go. Right? And then you're asking a low IQ basketball player to make the decision on what to do with the basketball. That's what the coaching staff is asking him to do. A low IQ player to make a decision on what to do with the basketball in that post area. Instead of getting him the ball on the run, on the move, in situations where he doesn't have to think as much, right? Now, we can blame that on him, but do we really blame that on him? I mean, it's easy to say, oh, yeah, it's his fault because he's taking bad shots. But is it? I mean, obviously his shots, him taking it, he can choose to do something else. But if you know somebody doesn't have that capacity as a coach, as a staff, you say, let's not put him in that situation. You try to put your players in the best situation possible to be successful. I'm just not sure if they're putting them in that situation. I'm not sure they're putting Julius Randle in the best situation to be successful.
I said it both ways. It's both Julius Randle being a hard, and I also said Fizdale's system is trash, and it creates that issue where you try to do ISO too much. So I think it's on both sides. I agree with that, but then again, on other things like defense, there should be no reason why Mitchell Robinson is getting destroyed down low in terms of 2-3 guys, or he's trying to rebound with 2-3 guys, and Randle's nowhere to be found, and Randle wasn't the guy taking the shot. That just does not make sense. To be successful in this team, or to make the Knicks successful, we got to play defense. We don't have superstar level talent that can carry us offensively, so we have to win by grit and grind. And it makes no sense that guys like Dotson, RJ, Frank, Mitch, and some other players, some of the younger, those guys are selling. Not I'm gonna say selling out on defense, but they're showing efforts on defense. They can only do so much. And a guy like Randle, he's not. Now we can look at the rebounds, but again, you have to look at rebounds in context. I don't know what it is, but I put money in it that the majority of rebounds aren't in contest, or aren't contested rebounds, where he's doing it in traffic. It's the ones that's come off for long shots, whatever, whatever. But too many times, but he has to sell out on defense. I agree with you on the offensive stuff. It's both him and Fizdale. Fizdale's system sucks, and I talk about this ad nauseum. But he has to sell out on defense. Too many times he's lollygagging. Too many times on the pick and roll defense, he's not coming up. Now, he's gotten better in the past few games. But that stuff is effort. That's not necessarily I'm trying to understand.
I have no argument with you there.
You have to do better on the defensive end. And that's effort. That's how much you want to sell out for the team. Kawhi Leonard's still diving into this. Kawhi Leonard's giving out on defense. He's won 2 championships. Like, come on, man. Like,
I have no argument with you there, but we also knew that coming into it. We also knew, the Knicks knew, the fans knew, also knew that coming into it. Savvy.
What's up?
Milwaukee tomorrow. What happens?
All right. I'll tell you what. One game I don't want to watch, huh? Okay. How are we going to even approach this team? That's like my thing. We have no answer for Giannis. Okay. All we could do is hope that Mitchell Robinson is tall enough to kind of bother him a little bit before he fouls out. And we got to do some work on these boys. They still got Chris, right?
Who?
The Bucks. They still got Chris Middleton?
Yes, they still got Chris Middleton.
Is he healthy now? I thought I heard he was hurt.
I'm not sure. I haven't had a chance to look, to really break down and look at him and all that. Look at the Milwaukee Bucks.
I don't know. Okay, all right. Think of it this way, right? Well, there's so many different guys that we gotta stop that do what they do so well to a point that we don't have anybody who can bring it on defense enough, especially with Frank out now, that can neutralize any of these guys.
Yeah.
So some of the smaller wing, smaller name players, okay, yeah, we can kind of give them trouble, but I think we're going to get eaten up. And it might not be as bad as it would have been if it was in New York, though, because we tend to play worse at home than we do on the road. On the road, we tend to have a little bit of resistance that we want to give.
I just want to show something, Savvy. Just 1 second. I just want to say one thing, because we're talking about Julius Randle's defense, and obviously we can talk about anybody else's defense on the Knicks, right? I want us to look at one thing. Taj Gibson, his defensive rating Now, these are personal defensive ratings. Taj Gibson's personal defensive rating is 109.6. Right? That's 318th in the league. Julius Randle's defensive rating is 109.8. That's 325th in the league. Bobby Portis's defensive rating is 109.9. That's 331st in the league. RJ Barrett's defensive rating is 110. That's 332nd in the league. You want to know something? Kevin Knox, his defensive rating was better than all of those guys.
Tonight.
No, this is not tonight. This is for the season. Damian Dotson's defensive rating is 110.3. That's 341st in the league. Right? These are all Knicks players. And this is what their defensive rating is. These are all guys, and every single person that I named, and I didn't find everybody else. I'm going to take the time and try to find everybody else as well. All right? Everyone that I named gets playing time on this team. Gets playing time on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Ntilikina's defensive rating, 108.8. That's 301st in the league. So, when we're looking at the defense of these players, what my point is, you can look at Frank Ntilikina and you can say, well, he shouldn't be 308 and he shouldn't be rated 301 in the league because, you know, he's a really good defensive player. We've got to look at the team as a whole. For every single one of these players, we got to look at the team as a whole and what the schemes are and what the coaches are asking them to do. Yes. You got to. You can point out one player all you want. I don't care. Right? But when you look at these numbers, and we got all these Knicks players, 3 of them are starters. Frank Ntilikina, 301. That's his ranking in the league right now. Taj Gibson, 318, a starter. Julius Randle, 325, a starter. RJ Barrett, 332, a starter. Right? When you look at that, there has to be, 4 starters rated 300 or worse in the league in defensive rating. Now, obviously, that has a lot to do with your team, right? I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh, of course.
You know, we do as fans, we do the same exact things that we don't want the team to do. You know what I'm saying? We do the same exact thing. We want to blame everything on one person and not the team as a whole. But anyway,
am I catching strays from your conversation with Guillermo?
What'd you say?
Am I catching strays from what Guillermo said to you?
I was just looking. No, it's not even about Guillermo. It's not about Guillermo. I'm just looking and because so quickly we want to blame one person all the time.
I want to ask you something, Sim. Okay. Yeah. This is a hypothetical, okay? But just indulge me for a second. If we played the Celtics in a 7-game series, do you believe that we would get swept?
Actually, no. I think we'd win a game. I think we'd get one.
Okay. I have the feeling that we could steal a game as well in that series, but I feel like we would steal it on just momentum and not really being adjustable and not outdoing them on talent. I feel like we would build an early lead and keep it going and then just luck out and not get scared in the fourth, and then we would steal one game, and then we wouldn't be able to adjust enough to actually compete in that series. And now I would like to pose this to you. Do you feel like our lack of adjustability is more to do with a lack of a point guard, commanding point guard presence on the floor that is like a coach on the floor, or is it directly because of the coaching?
Both. I think it's both. I think it's both. I think you don't have that. I think you don't have that. You don't have that presence on the floor. That guy that can just command everything, and then coaching as well. Because as a coach, if you know you don't have that guy, then you got to have a little bit more structure. You got to have a lot of structure. If you don't have that guy, then I think you got to have a lot of structure. See, when you have a guy, and this is why so many people bring up Chris Paul, right? Because Chris Paul is the kind of guy that is a leader. Yeah, and I think he would be perfect for this team. I just don't like the contract. and what it does to the Knicks going forward. But I do think he would be perfect for this team. I honestly do. I just don't like the contract going forward. But when you have a guy like Chris Paul, you can kind of sit back and let them guys go because he can instruct and do everything. He can instruct everything. So you can kind of sit back and let those guys go. When you don't have a guy like Chris Paul, you got to have more structure because you don't have the guy that can facilitate everything on the floor. Like truly facilitate and lead. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but hey, man, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna come to Mark, and then I'm getting out of here. All right.
All right, Sim. Have a good night, buddy.
All right, appreciate it, Mark. Tomorrow against the Bucks, man. Where you at with it?
When you brung that up, you should have just ended the show, bro. Because honestly, listen, man, you already know what it is, and listen, man. It's just too much going on with this team, man. That's all I gotta say, dog.
There's a whole lot going on with this team. I'm gonna tell you what. There's a lot going on the court.
It's just deeper than rap.
Yo, there's a lot going on the court. I know there's a lot going on in the locker room.
Yep.
There's division. There's a lot going on with this team. I can feel it. I know it. There's a lot going on with this team.
That's all I gotta say. And listen, man.
But anyway, Milwaukee, man. Just give me a prediction real quick. What's gonna happen?
The only thing we could do with Giannis when he's on the floor is just pack that paint as much as possible. If we can't, it's to a point, right? I'd rather Giannis pass it to the 3-point shooters than allow him to come in and cause havoc.
Just kill it.
So the best thing to do is just to create a wall and let the 3-point fly and take our chances on that. Because if you mix his game in with the 3-point shooter, we're gonna get blown out, and we're gonna come on here just pissed off.
Yeah, I'm expecting to come on here heated tomorrow. I am expecting that we're gonna be on here heated tomorrow. I really am.
Listen, man, we played a good game tonight till the last 6 minutes. You know, I've seen a lot of good things, and then I've seen a lot of like brain damaging things at the end. But it is what it is. Go Knicks. But there's a lot going on, and it's deeper than rap. And the light soon comes. Y'all stay woke.
All right, peace, man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, I'm out of here. You guys have yourselves a peaceful rest of your weekend. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon as I do the game preview, and then I'll see you tomorrow night after the game. All right? Be peaceful, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out.